Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How's everyone doing? Thank you, Nemesaur, for another generous drop of subs, gifting 20 Tier 1 subs to the community. Really appreciate it. Helps get rid of those pesky ads. So thank you, Nemesaur, for that. Trey, thanks for 64 months, says yay. Lady Ann with 58 months says, hope you're doing well in your recovery. I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday I was feeling not so great, which is why I didn't stream yesterday. I'm really sorry. I was expecting to stream every day this week. I really thought I'd be feeling better by now, but I've been having some rough days with the recovery. But I'm doing alright. I'm streaming early today just because I have an appointment to go get a flu shot later today. I was actually also going to get a COVID shot, but I'm not allowed to do that now because the government's run by brain-wormed conspiracy theorists, so I'm not allowed to have a COVID vaccine now. So things are going great. Phoenix Leftist, thanks for 39 months. Adventures in .net with the 25 stream streak says, watching Hannah on my birthday, and Sovsits, happy birthday, Adventures in .net. Congrats for another year round the sun. Why is Michigan so fucked up? That's a national thing. That's not a Michigan thing. That's a decision that RFK Jr. made. A man who eats roadkill. If you don't laugh, you cry. Anyway, so today we're going to be taking a look at the final day of the Sovereign Citizen Conference that was put on by a variety of sovereign citizen influencers, including Cameron James Wilson, Brandon Joe Williams, amongst some others. So I think we can just jump into it. Medicated person, thanks for 38 months, says, use your Prime subs, y'all. Yes, if you have Amazon Prime and you link it with your Twitch account, you get a free sub per month, which you could give to me, which is basically like forcing Jeff Bezos at gunpoint to hand me $3 a month. Which, don't you want to do that? So do that. Alright, so let's get into it. We can get COVID vaccines once they release them, hopefully soon. We have to get prescriptions, though, now, I believe. I believe we have to get prescriptions from our doctors now, because you have to be in a... Well, my wife's saying no, so apparently I misunderstood the thing that I was informed of earlier, so don't listen to me, we're gonna watch Sovereign Citizens.
You Cam right now.
I skipped over the first 30 minutes of this because it is Q&A that wasn't particularly interesting.
Okay, so what I wanted to do with you is like a traffic stop. I'm gonna run through some of these do's and don'ts real quick. So I want y'all to remember that an officer is required to read you your rights before questioning or searching you if they have placed you into a custodial arrest. It's number one. They have to read them. If they don't, it's gonna get suppressed. So on our first night, Friday night, we had 2 Operation Wise Dome members that went to court. Sarah went to court. She had a jurisdictional hearing. She had part of her motions granted in relation to a prejudice and bias. So we got a 211 disqualification of the judge because the judge in an order stated that she was a sovereign citizen. So boom, that judge is gone. We got that granted. Then my other boy Hayden, he had caught...
I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the particular jurisdiction that she's under, if you write a letter to the main judge and ask for a recusal, they basically always do so. So that's why he got recused in that case, from what I found. Redmond, thanks for gifting a sub.
In a DUI out of Florida, and all we really utilized was, it was a certain statutes like 316 or something like that in relation to that if you swerve, right, that and there's nobody in the way of the swerving, so you didn't put anybody in harm or threaten them in any manner, that you can't pull somebody over just for swerving. So he went to court on Friday, had an evidence.
I think it kind of probably depends upon the context, right? So if you were swerving and it seems like you're out of control of your vehicle, like you might be drunk, they can certainly pull you over with probable cause or with reasonable articulable suspicion, sorry.
Evidentiary hearing, he questioned the officer, deposed him for an hour, and when they got done with that, the judge literally said that everything from the point of when the cop came up and shined the flashlight has to be suppressed. So we're out here winning like constantly now. We're getting a lot of good plays with all of our...
I think that was the DUI case. Real grad Cameron's out here protecting drunk drivers, allegedly.
People in Operation Wise Dome, and you can check that out too. You just got to go to Hayden DUI Florida, you'll see everything about him. So you can utilize that if you ever had any situations like that. So then, before we even get into this, I gotta make some announcements. Sorry, see, I'm all over the place. All right, so what I did is I gave y'all access to Discord on Operation Wisdom for free. And I don't like to like hella charge people. I'm not about that. So I just asked.
You don't like to hella charge people, bitch. The amount of money he charges more than actual attorneys charge per hour, depending on the attorney. Like, he charges, I swear to God, some of his packages are like $400 for a fucking hour. Fennikagami with 40 bits says, I hope this will help me feel better. My niece in the hospital for a seizure at the age of 6, and my wife is stuck in a depression malaise with the soul-crushing loneliness of a 55-hour work week is making it very hard for me to be the rock of the family. I understand it's the depression talking, but still grating to hear someone respond with you suggesting things you wish you can do with what's the point. That can be hard. That can be really hard. I hope things get better.
Like, if y'all want to truly be part of Operation Wise Dome all the way, like, maybe you can give a donation. We have a donation type system set up. If you don't have it, that's fine. But if you feel it in your heart and you find the value, please do so. And then we also have our traffic law reform. I don't know if y'all have seen this or not, but we currently have a petition right now with over 1,400 signatures. And what we're going to do, because we're having all this autonomous driving and everything happening, we have all these deaths that are occurring all over our nation, like I've been talking about. We're moving for a petition to kind of go in this aspect here, which is New
Aspect.
Hampshire.
Are we going to count the aspects?
Sure. So what I want to touch base on right here is this is a bill actually that was introduced in New Hampshire.
this is hilarious. He's going to go over this again, this New Hampshire bill that he apparently has read 50 times, but has never actually read it. He says, oh, it passed in the lower chamber. No, it didn't. Cameron, read it. Read the page, you fool. What passed was a motion to find the bill inexpedient to legislate, aka fucking no. Hate him. Sweet Lily Love with 2 months says, yay, hope you're feeling better. A little bit better than yesterday.
And
Is he still threatening to sue? I haven't heard from him, so that's good. Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, remember, these people don't even want verification that people are competent drivers at all.
Should someone have to have a government-issued license?
This is from the Libertarian. To be clear, this is not a sovereign citizen thing. This is a hyper-libertarian thing. This was, what, the 2016 Libertarian presidential primaries?
Should someone have to have a government-issued license to drive a car?
Hell no.
What's
If you've never seen the Libertarian presidential primary debates, I would recommend it. They're pretty funny. Like, it's funny because, you know, libertarians, at least in this sense, aren't probably going to ever have a modicum of power, you know? They don't have the good PR departments fascists have. So it's pretty funny. They're very performative. It's pretty good. I'd recommend the Libertarian primary debates.
Have to have a government-issued license to drive a car?
Hell no.
what's next? Requiring a license to make toast in your own damn toaster?
If making toast included you operating a multi-ton death machine this far away from other people, yes, then yes, I think you should have a toaster license.
The license to drive? You know, I'd like to see some competency exhibited by people before they drive.
Oh, boo, Gary Johnson! Hot take. We shouldn't let people in front of the wheel of the murder machine unless they've had a modicum of murder machine training.
actually passed on the lower level, so you'll see right.
It did not pass. Cameron just, I don't know, he misinterpreted this. I looked this up. I've looked this up multiple times. This is a New Hampshire bill that basically was at some people, Republicans in committee, put together that said all the sovereign citizen stuff, you shouldn't need a license or insurance or anything unless you're operating in commerce. Typical sovereign citizen beliefs. It did not pass. He'll say, oh, it passed the lower chamber. No, it didn't. It made it out of committee. It made it to the chamber where it was immediately voted down as inexpedient to legislate. Okay, moving on.
Right here, we have 262 yays to 68 nays. It passed.
It did not pass, Cameron. Cameron, it didn't pass. What passed was a motion to find it inexpedient to legislate. Read it!
Went to the next level. So what's really cool about this is the aspect that what you'll notice is that this House bill, I guess I'll just read just a second of it, but this bill
Also, can I point out the hypocrisy of the idea that, like, how do I put this? He's claiming, oh yeah, all this stuff about not needing a driver's license is already legal, but also he's like, sign my petition to make it legal, and also here's a bill that failed to pass that would have made it legal. Do you see the problem? Do you see why this is inconsistent? Is it legal right now, Cameron? Or do you need signatures to make it legal? Or did they try to make it legal in New Hampshire and it failed? You can't have all of these things be the same at once. They can't all be true.
states the right to travel and requires the Department of Safety to provide at no cost to all non-commercial automobile and non-commercial conveyance owners a decal and identification card that state the holder is exempt from registering his or her automobile or other private conveyance under the superior authority of RSA 382-A. And it says 9-109. Does anybody know what 9-109 means? Or what it entails? Anything? It's a UCC. Does anybody know anything else about that specific code? No? Okay. It pretty much determines that your car, your automobile, is a household good.
Wow, that's crazy. Are you getting arrested at home for your car, or are you getting arrested outside because you're operating it on public roads without a license? Because that's crazy that your household good isn't in your house and you're driving it on public roads with other people.
It's a household good. You need to understand that. It's very important. There are a lot of things in this world that they try to tell us we're required to have licenses and things for, but you're not looking in the right places to understand that you really don't. And you can utilize their own codes against them. That's what we do. Again, this is 9-109 of the Uniform Commercial Code, which provides exemptions for non-taxable consumer goods and household goods. This bill also repeals requirements for certain travelers or drivers to acquire non-commercial driver's licenses. None of you here need a driver's license. You can keep a driver's license, no problem. You don't want to have no problems.
Cameron, he's reading this and saying, like, see, rescind the need for blah, 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 blah. And then he goes into, like, see, you don't need it. Cameron, even you are admitting this did not become a law. Like, do you see how insane this is? And how no one in this room is apparently picking up on how nonsensical this argument is? Look at this bill that did not pass that says you don't need a driver's license. See? You don't need a driver's license. Didn't pass says you don't need a driver's license. You don't need a driver's license. It didn't pass, but I'm still going to talk about it like it passed, and as if the entire country is New Hampshire. What the fuck?
But what I'm stating is the fact that even if you're on the road and you have a driver's license, it's all about how you are operating on the road at said time, okay? Let's
Green guy with a $3 tip says, I'm going to cook some Honda Civic for lunch with a side of Toyota Tacoma.
see what else we got here. I want to make an announcement on.
So I hope they're delicious.
We got that traffic law reform. If y'all want to sign that, that's on the website as well. I hope I didn't delete that. Okay. All right, I want to do one thing for my daughter real quick, if that's okay with y'all. She's about to turn 8. I want y'all to just say happy birthday to her, if that's okay. Can y'all do that?
Oh, man, when I was 8 years old, I wanted nothing more than a bunch of creepy libertarian adults to wish me happy birthday. Yay! My dad's creepy friends from jail are wishing me a happy birthday.
All right, y'all ready? Go. Her name is Luna. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Happy birthday, Luna! Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. My baby gonna love that. She going, oh my God. Okay. Let's see. So don't ever answer an officer's questions. You have the right to remain silent.
I do want to point out he is there for his kids a lot. I don't necessarily think he's a bad parent. The only thing I take personal umbrage with is that he shows his kids in his streams, which I find to be incredibly irresponsible in my opinion. They're his kids, like, it's not illegal what he's doing by any means. I just find it irresponsible to show your kids on the internet when they're that young. You don't know what kind of creeps are on the internet. There's lots of them out there. If I had kids, they wouldn't be in front of a camera until they're fucking 16 years old, at minimum. Maybe, in fairness, that's because I've been doing this for a decade and I know how taxing it can be. Like, even just being a no one on the internet in front of a camera that no one knows about. There's still crazy people. Why would you ever put your kid in that position? Fenekagami with 40 bits says, Cameron, you know what else is a household good? A steak knife. You're still not allowed to take one into a government building. The public has a right to tell you what is and is not appropriate to do in public.
So use it. Just shut the fuck up. Say I reserve all rights, including my right to remain silent, right? They have to have a warrant. We forget that the Constitution states, which they're bound to abide by, you know that they have to have a warrant. What
It depends on the context, Cameron. As you know, if they see you commit a crime, they can still arrest you. They can stop you if they have a reasonable articulable suspicion. You're aware of Terry stops. I know you are.
are some requirements of a warrantless arrest? Anybody know? Do you know? What are the requirements of a warrantless arrest? I think we spoke on it yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's probable cause.
Probable cause, gross misdemeanor or felony. Gross. Okay? Let's see what else we got here. Do remember to roll up all of your windows. Don't ever roll down more than one window at a time because the air gust will blow through if you got some smelly shit in there like I always do.
Cameron just admitted that he always drives with marijuana in his vehicle. Now, supposedly, I guess he didn't admit that he is partaking of the marijuana while he's driving, but that's pretty close to admitting that you drive under the influence constantly, isn't it? Do you drive your children in that car, Cameron? Because I'm not saying you do. If you did, though, A, super illegal, B, fucked up to put your kids in danger driving them while under the influence. Again, not saying he does. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're high all the time, if your car always smells like weed, because you're fucking high all the time, I hope you're not transporting your children, because that would make you a bad person. Not saying he does. I don't know. I'm just saying, if he did do that, he would be a very bad person. He's not driving, he's trafficking.
Don't ever provide an officer with any documents other information that they demand. Why? Because they need a warrant. You can be private at all times. And until they, you see what I'm saying? They have to have a warrant. We had one lady, Kimberly. Kimberly just recently was with her boy John. He had a warrant, that's like 2 weeks ago. He had a warrant. They were scoping them from their house, waiting for them to leave. They literally got pulled over and waited 2.5 hours in their car for them to get a warrant. Just wait it out. Let them get a warrant or let them violate you either way. I don't know. I like to let them violate me. That's more money. He says don't.
Cameron, when have you ever won a lawsuit that got you money? He says this all the time. He'll be like, we're gonna sue. We're gonna make so much money. Cameron, if you'd ever won a lawsuit like this, you would be showing the money on camera. You'd be making it rain. You'd get one of those novelty money guns that you can shoot at the strip club. Like, what are you talking about? You talk like you've won. You haven't.
I say do. It's more money. I think what we have to understand is kids you may have young kids, but I think we shelter our kids too much these days anyways. I really do. I think
you don't.
Kids really need to experience what's going on because if they see what's going on, I don't think it's going to be so traumatic if the parent is there to be able to educate the kids on what kind of things need change, right? So I think standing up for your rights is more important than something that you can explain away later with your children and show them that, I'm trying to instill change in our country. I think that's more.
I'm going to put this out there. I don't know how to take this as. I think teaching your kids to not trust cops is not a great idea. Now, don't get me wrong, you guys know my opinion on cops as an adult, but I think it's probably unsafe to teach your kids not to trust cops. That's a teenage conversation to have with your kids, not a tiny child. Because in a situation where a child is lost or something, or even, like, this doesn't happen often, but, like, kidnapped or they need help, like, a kid should seek out a cop, you know what I mean? A kid doesn't have the nuance to understand, like, hey, the systemic issues with policing and, like, the culture of policing and the training. All you can basically do to a little kid is be like, cops are good or cops are bad. And on balance, your kid should probably think cops are good, because if they're in danger, they should find a cop. You know what I mean? The cop probably isn't going to brutalize your child for no good reason, is what I'm saying. So I think teaching your kids to not trust cops is not smart. When they're older, you can break their illusions and tell them how fucked up the world is.
More powerful. Let's see. Officers will almost always insist that you're not under custodial arrest, but that's a lie. Anytime you're detained, when you don't want to be, that's an arrest, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Okay, legal equations. Are you ready? Go ahead and pull me over, bro. Show me what it's like to get
That's also true. My perspective is very much as a white person. If you're not white, that calculus is wildly different. So I do want to put that out there.
pulled over by you. Whoop, whoop. Come up to the car and let's do it.
This feels so.
Oh, this is great. They're going to do a fake traffic stop. So one of the guys here is a sovereign citizen who spent some years working for a police department. There are some ex-police that are sovereign citizens. It's rare, but it does happen. He's one of the guys.
So corny.
Chill.
All right, I'm gonna go along. Yeah.
Fuck these windows.
But for the record, I've never busted anybody's windows out.
That's good. No chairs. We're good.
Okay, so anyways, yeah. So I'd walk up to the car and say, how you doing, sir? If I could just get your, I don't say everything. I just say, can I get your driving information? That's what I say.
Sorry, is your window down or up?
My window is cracked like this bit much. Yeah, it's like that much.
Why not fully up?
I want them to hear me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I would just ask for your driving information.
Okay,
Can I
we'll
get
do
your
it like
driving
you normally
information?
would.
Okay. Like I said, it's corny. I feel weird doing this.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
You showed up to the Sovereign Citizen Convention, but this is what you're embarrassed about? Bad judgment.
It's okay.
License, registration, and proof of insurance, please.
Okay. For the record, may I get your name and badge number, please?
Pharaoh 232.
Okay. Officer who?
Pharaoh.
Officer Farrow. Is there a recording being made of this encounter?
There is.
Okay. Is that recording comprised of both audio and video? Now, act normally now, because you're probably not going to answer all these questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you relatively certain that your recording equipment is functioning properly for the purposes?
I find it so interesting that within his fantasy, how do I put this? The power dynamic is entirely opposite of what it would be in real life. In a real life traffic stop, the power dynamic is that the cop has the upper hand in the situation. In like the literal sense, they have power. You do not. Yet in this situation, Cameron has the power and the cop does not. Because Cameron is one of the leaders of this group, the power in this case is not so much material as it is social, right? He's intimidated by Cameron. So he's going to let Cameron spout off a bunch of sovereign citizen stuff and, like, roll all over him in a way that cops in real traffic stops don't. And we know this because we've seen Cameron in traffic stops with cops, and they don't let him do this way. So it's just weird that they spend the time to do this fake LARP when we've seen the real thing, and it's not like this. It just feels masturbatory. It's very strange.
Of making this recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, if I could just get your information, that'd be great.
Excuse me, we're not there yet. Is your body, microphone, and camera, if any, turned on and functioning properly to the best of your knowledge?
It is.
Okay, so Officer Farrow, what is the emergency and how can I help?
I'm already annoyed, so I'm pulling you out.
These windows about to get fucking busted right now. I swear to God. These windows are done. ASAP.
All right, I'm sorry.
Are there kids there? I haven't seen any. I don't know, though.
What was the next
It's
line?
okay. Officer Farrow, what is the emergency and how can I help?
He's literally reading off of a script off his fucking computer.
You committed, you didn't use...
Yeah, we gotta cover the Eddie Craig stuff. His script is huge with sovereign citizens. It's where like half of them get their stuff.
your turn signal at that.
They're laughing at weird spots. That's because their frame of reference is inherently different than us. Their worldview is very different, so the spots that are humorous to them are different because they're hearing the same words, but the connotations that they have attached to those words are very different. So even though we're hearing and seeing the same thing, we're interpreting it very differently because our experience with these tropes, our understanding of these words are very different than them.
Last turn.
Fennikagami, real quick, says, tangentially related good news, Trump's DOJ tried to indict the guy who threw a sub sandwich at the DC cop in protest of the takeover, and then had 20 cops show up to arrest him on all sorts of charges like terrorism. The grand jury refused to indict on all charges, which was essentially a fuck you to Trump and his stupid collaborators. You know, I've heard that they could get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich, but apparently not if you throw that sandwich at someone who deserves it. Funny.
Okay, so again, what is the emergency and how can I help you?
There's no emergency, but if I can get your driving information, that'd be great.
All right, we're not there yet. Officer Farrell, what facts or information?
Again, like, that would never fly in a traffic stop. Like, it's just a power fantasy. This feels like a weird power fantasy where they all want to sit around and pretend that this is what traffic interactions are like. It's crazy.
Are you alleging that gave you probable cause to even stop and accost me?
This is gonna totally piss off at all.
I know, he's pissed.
Holy
He's
shit.
already pissed. Come on, I'm amping it up.
Yeah,
I'm building the record for
like,
my civil suit.
I'm not even in the game, and I just want to go sit back down.
I'm just gonna put this out there. If anyone gets angry and frustrated as easily as this guy, you shouldn't be a cop. What are you talking about? Why were you a cop? You have this little self-control of your emotions? You're this fucking trigger-happy and emotional? And you think you should be a cop? Glad you're not one anymore. Holy shit, cops suck.
But anyways, sir, if I could just get your driving information, I'll get you on your way.
Officer Farrell, I do understand, but we're not there yet. So what facts and information are you alleging that gave you probable cause to stop and accost me?
I told you what traffic infraction you committed, so therefore, by state law, I am able to get your driving information. And yes, you are being detained right now for a traffic infraction.
Fair enough. Officer Farrell, what facts or information? Excuse me. Officer Farrell.
At most, they should be confused. Yeah, I think a lot of cops are the kind of people who, when they get confused, they get mad. So...
Do you have a properly signed and issued warrant authorizing you to search me and or my property?
No.
Tough. That's a tough one. That's on the record. Okay? Officer Farrow, do you have a properly signed and issued warrant of arrest that accurately describes or names me as the person to be arrested?
Like, they wouldn't let you do this. They'd be doing their traffic stop. I need your license. I need your insurance. He doesn't need a warrant because in this instance, the probable cause was whatever he said the fictional probable cause was. Even in this fictional scenario, they gave him probable cause.
Sir, can you please step out of the vehicle? But I'm telling you, that's
That
a
is
very...
right. That's the next thing.
That's a very...
So this is what I'm going to say next. Wait, no. This is what I'm going to say next.
He's so excited. It's like the energy of a little kid who's like, and now I have a force field, like when they're playing a game. I don't know.
going to say, I'm not stepping out of my vehicle.
No, hold on. Why? I just want to ask him, can you talk about why? Like, what?
Well, so in the state of Florida, there's a thing called... it's like impeding an investigation. It's resisting.
Sweet Lily Love says, I notice he isn't showing any of his actual traffic stops as an example of what to do or how things go. I wonder why.
Without violence. So therefore, it's in general term obstruction. Depends on what state you're in. So under our statute, it's resisting without violence. So at that point, the officer is going to believe that, okay, now I am conducting this traffic stop. Now, if the officer is smart, he's probably just gonna I probably already have you identified before I even pulled you over, so I'm just gonna go like, okay, sir, I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go print out whatever I observed, and I'm probably just gonna hand you your citation by the way. But for the sake of this, I don't have a warrant, and if I could just, again, get your driving information.
Well, currently, sir, I'm not driving, but what I will say is, for the record,
For once, he's right. You're standing in front of a group of other idiots. Hooray! We did it.
am not operating in a for-hire capacity.
Fennikagami says the joke is no cop is this meek. They all wish this is how it would go because it would be funny. It would be great for them.
by engaging in any form of transportation or other commercial use of the highways. Officer Farrow, please acknowledge that you have so been informed.
Okay, sovereign citizen.
The sovereignist of the land. I'm letting you know right now, that's me. So, Officer Farrow, am I
It's always funny to me that Cameron gets mad when people call him a sovereign citizen, but then there's also moments where he'll be like, hell yeah, I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm the sovereignest damn citizen this nation's ever seen. Pick lane.
under custodial arrest?
You are not.
Oh, really? Okay. If I am not under custodial arrest, then am I free to go?
You're free once I give you your citation.
Okay, so am I free to go?
Let me get your citation, and then you will be free to go after that.
Let that reflect on the record. Officer Farrow, what is the articulable...
Let that reflect on the record. You wouldn't have to say that if you were filming this. It's not a stenographer. It's a camera. It captures everything in its presence.
probable cause that leads you to believe that I have committed or am about to commit a crime that authorizes you to stop, detain, or arrest me?
You did not commit a crime. You committed
wow.
a traffic infraction, but in the state of Florida, you are being detained for that traffic infraction.
Now, what's pretty interesting about what he just said is that's not a crime. Most of these officers will not do that. Actually, in fact, on March 3rd, I literally had a sergeant come up to me when I asked him in the back of the car, and I said, hey, man, what is the definition of a crime?
He always does this too. He'll try and get the cops to be like, what's the definition of a crime? And he'll try to get an answer, and his answer is incorrect anyway. He thinks that the definition of a crime is an action in which you do harm to another person. That's not the definition of a crime. The closest I can find to a definition of a crime when I look it up is basically it's any illegal act for which the government or the state can prosecute you with potential prison time, with potential consequences that include having your rights curtailed and having yourself be put in jail or prison for some period of time. That's a rough definition. So it's funny that he harps on cops not knowing what he considers to be the definition of a crime when his own definition is incorrect.
Does anybody know?
And also, you don't need to have committed a crime to be stopped in a traffic stop. Crimes are different than traffic infractions. In some jurisdictions, traffic stuff is considered pseudo-criminal. In some, it's its own category of traffic infractions, and I think some it falls under civil. It depends on the state.
What did he say?
It's always funny because the victim
Dr. Worm, thanks for 49 months.
is society.
Well, wait. This officer said, I said, what's the definition of a crime? He says,
Green guy with a $3 tip says, that reminds me of Christians doing role play when I was a kid at church. It does have the energy of like a role play scenario, whether it's D&D or something else where they're playing characters and they think they have good ideas for character moments.
a crime or violation of a traffic stop. Like, you can't define crime by using the same word crime. Like,
hey, Cameron, the legal code doesn't. The fact that you got a cop who isn't very good articulating himself is irrelevant to whether or not what you're doing is legal or illegal, and it's not a gotcha. No matter how much your friends laugh and applaud when you talk, it doesn't make you right.
bro, wake up, okay? Like, come on now. Okay, so, Officer Farrow, in order to protect my rights and not waive any by error or accident, I wish to clarify my legal understanding of the situation.
Quick question. What is the police officer's idea of difference between detain and arrest?
That's a good question. That is a good question. Or is there in y'all's?
Yeah, so if I have you...
Being detained is like you can't leave. You're being investigated, you're potentially being questioned, there's an investigation ongoing, and you're not allowed to leave. Being arrested is like they're booking you into the jail. You're under arrest. They're taking you to the jail to book you for a alleged crime or illegality.
Detained, my state allows me to detain you if I have a reason to it's kind of like I have a reasonable suspicion, that's the term, to believe that a crime has occurred, is going to occur, or already has occurred. So that's reasonable suspicion. But in the state of Florida, if it's a traffic infraction, you have basically, I don't need probable cause to pull you over. I need reasonable suspicion to pull you over to believe a traffic infraction has been committed. So yes, there is a difference. So detained is hey, I think something happened here, and I'm trying to gather facts about what I think has happened.
Hey, Sonny, is there a time?
Sonny, is there a length of time that a person can be detained?
Yes.
So.
I think it's 20 minutes in Indiana.
No, 15.
So I believe I gotta be honest. I don't know the Florida statute, but I know like policy-wise, depending on department, I think the term is like reasonable. If that so, yeah. So, and that's the point.
He's arguing against Cameron. If Cameron was paying attention right now, he'd be very upset.
Yes. Essentially, yes.
We're not going to determine the definition of reasonable on the side of the phone.
Well, no, but they should know just due to the fact that the Supreme Court has already stated that extending a stop, just a de minimis amount of time beyond what is
This former cop knows nothing. Yeah, I got the vibe that he wasn't, and I'm not talking about even morality, I'm just talking in effectiveness. I got to imagine if you're the kind of cop that leaves the force and becomes a sovereign citizen, you probably weren't a very good cop to begin with. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not talking morality good. I'm talking about in terms of being quality at the tasks given to you by the job.
reasonable to actually effectuate the purpose of the stop is a Fourth Amendment violation. So with all these extra questions that they're doing, if they're extending it by just even a little bit, that's a Fourth Amendment violation straight up. Like, we just got a ruling on that. I think I read that to y'all yesterday. Just came out March 25th, okay? Where are we at right here? Okay, so you have said that I am not free to go, so I must conclude that I am in a custodial arrest and not simply an investigative detention. Therefore, I am invoking all of my fundamental protected rights, including my right to remain silent and my right to assistance of counsel. That means a friend, co-counsel, anything.
It does not mean a friend. I cannot reiterate to you, assistance of counsel does not mean a friend. Unless your friend's a lawyer, like a licensed attorney. I guess that could work. But no, it means an attorney, like a real bar card holding attorney. Not a fake one like Cameron.
Okay. From this point forward, I do not consent to providing. Man, I really want to find this for them. Can y'all give me two? You want to ask the question real quick? I really want to show y'all a real example of this.
Let me ask a question.
Okay. I have to find this for y'all. It's too important.
What kind of experience or training are you guys given for people who may have or say that they have diplomatic immunity?
Say that they have diplomatic immunity is such a... What good storytelling. You know, those people, hypothetical, that might, say, like a lie, that they have diplomatic immunity. Fucking Lethal Weapon 2 fucking watch. Just like the bad guys from Lethal Weapon 2, I have diplomatic immunity, so Hammer, you can't sue.
No, there is. There's legal bulletins that come out that are pretty extensive, but and then there's just guidelines. So, and I don't know it verbatim, but it's essentially like for like a traffic infraction. Essentially, you don't mess with them unless there's some egregious crime that happened.
But anyone, any dumb fuck on the side of the road, any crazy crack-headed piece of shit can say they have diplomatic immunity.
You are correct. I think that's the closest to self-awareness Brandon Williams has ever gotten.
But here's the thing, like, I don't have a mechanism to know your status, as crazy as that sounds.
So is the license plate...
Whoa!
He got vulgar out of nowhere for no reason. Oh, that's his whole thing. He'll just swear and, like, say dirty words. And, oh, he says the dirty words. Oh, it's like his personality. It sucks.
Are you...
It's how I used to act when I was, like, 20.
Serious?
Yes, serious.
We did not go over that on the show. Wow.
All right, cut the cameras.
No, I know. So, okay.
Let's create a...
Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying, if you spurt off like, hey, I'm a diplomat and blah, 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 the officer's going to be like, okay. Now,
if you're pot smoking,
or they're gonna recognize that you're trying to scam them and they'll arrest you for trying to impersonate a diplomat, which might be a federal felony. I'm not saying it definitely is, but it feels like vibe law. We're doing vibe law right now. Is it illegal to impersonate a diplomat? It's gotta be, right? There's no way that's legal. 18 U.S. Code 915 prohibits falsely acting as a foreign diplomat with an intent to defraud or demand or obtain anything of value. Conviction under federal law can result in a fine or imprisonment up to 10 years, or both. Okay, probably don't do that then. That's probably a bad strategy.
smoke rolling out of the side of your 1999 Acura Sentra, and the sides all smashed in, and there's a fucking bumper sticker on it. How's that going to go over if I say I have diplomatic immunity?
Yeah.
Bad. Green guy with a $3 tip says, I watch this and I reflect on myself as a white man, and I thank God I got into cooking, gardening, collecting glass jars, and fucking my wife instead of whatever this is. We appreciate your service, less obnoxious white man. Red Beard Jeff, thanks for following. Welcome.
Not good, but I take that back. So if it's, it'll come up if it's like some other.
What are my political beliefs? I'm a leftist. I believe people should have health care and a safety net. Hot take.
Country, like I'm talking like a real head honcho. Does that make sense? Not just like the average, pickletarian. It's not going to come up. But like, but then you would have to make some phone calls to verify. Like if it's some dude that looks like he's the Chancellor of Germany or something, you're going to make a couple phone calls.
What does the Chancellor of Germany look like?
Try to get it verified. But other than that, the average pickletarian, no, you're not gonna. It's not gonna pop up and be like, "Oh, they got diplomatic immunity. Have a nice day."
Now, from your experience in 19 years, how many of those sorts of encounters have you personally experienced? Any level of diplomatic immunity or anything like that?
Maybe a handful. It's so long.
I feel like I answered the question, Redbeard Jeff.
Long ago, usually around like
pretty much, yeah. What Amber said, social democracy shit.
Bush Gardens.
It's the last I'm gonna answer. All right.
You get all the crazy like international driver's license, the certain kind of diplomat passports, and in which case I was always like, and I know you didn't ask for my perspective, but I knew there was bigger fish to fry, so I would just be like, all right, yeah,
So that's almost everything I hear from almost everybody. Is just,
or if you don't speak English either, I kind of just.
I want to get this girl. I want to get this girl's question earlier, who I shut down.
I'm sorry.
Can we get your question now?
Well, now I have two. Can I guess?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm St. Petersburg, by the way. Curious about putting together something like Coffee with a Cop. So I'm in the kratom business, and we did
My
this.
department has that, actually. But go ahead. Sorry.
Perfect. So that's what I'm asking is us all here, would you guys or would the police be open to us even having a meeting like that about this? About state national, about, You know, are they even
Oh,
open to it?
100%. I believe so.
And how would we approach it, though? So we're not the crazy sovereign.
That's the $1 million question: is how do you even? Yeah.
Okay.
That's the big question.
A lot of you guys are frankly just overzealous and you underinformed.
I do find it funny, the idea that someone who sells kratom wants to get together with a bunch of cops to explain their sovereign citizen BS to them.
Frankly, just to be extremely fucking blunt and just crush your souls into dust. You're underinformed and overzealous. So if you just...
That should have been the name of the conference.
Just chill out a little bit and make it kind of fun and maybe make some laughs and just kind of bring the tone down just a little bit, which I know is a little bit difficult because you guys are excited. It's super good. It's a good thing. It's just you have to bridge the gap with people.
Doesn't kratom kill a bunch of people per year? I have no idea. I don't know much about it.
And when you're through the roof and you're saying 450,000 things at 495,000 miles.
I know that it hits the same receptors. It's a drug that's plant-based. It hits some of the same receptors that opioids do, so some people, I think, use them for pain or uses it to wean themselves off opioids. I'm not super familiar with it. I know Peter, the conspiracy theorist we used to cover when he was still active, I know he was a regular user of it. I don't remember much other than that.
An hour at 490,000 degrees Kelvin. It can be a bit much for most.
Okay. There goes Redbeard Jeff. Alright. Adios.
People. Seriously. Okay? And then I'm going to give the mic back to her.
Okay, so what I want to show you is the next segment of what I was just reading to y'all.
Brain Squid with 13 months says, double hooray, sub baby. Please name them Gummy Bear something. This sub baby's name is Gummy Bear something. I know that's not what you meant. Gummy Bear Supremacy. It's the name of this baby.
But I want to show y'all from one of our Operation Wise Dome members. This dude's name is Scott Stackle. He was up in Washington. He got pulled over by Pierce County Sheriff's Office. And it's pretty crazy because this one 60-second reel got viewed 5.2 million, or 5.2 million. Let me see if it works. Okay.
516. In order to protect my rights and not waive any by error or accident, I wish to clarify my legal understanding of this situation. Okay. You said that I am not free to go. Yes.
I'm going to skip ahead because they're just playing a video that's nearly impossible for us to discern easily.
But I'm just saying, like,
Would he have broken the window? Would he have got him out? The angriest guy, would he have got him out if he did all that shit?
Somewhere.
I mean, yeah, somewhere in America.
Because I'm already angry with him.
Yeah.
Why? What'd I do to you? I'm just standing on my liberties.
But Cam, you see what I mean, though? And I'm not saying you're wrong or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Everyone is so afraid to tell Cameron he's wrong. It's hilarious.
Like,
well, that's why it has.
Don't let me become this, by the way. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, please. Unironically, please tell me when I'm wrong. The last thing I need to be is strapped into a sycophancy machine. I don't want it.
This big red letters right here that says, warning, be prepared for the officer to do or threaten precisely that. Break your fucking window. You know what I'm saying? Or threatening you with all kind of manner of unpleasantries. So this guy that actually wrote this is named Eddie Craig. Has anybody here heard of Eddie Craig? Yeah, so Eddie Craig is amazing. He came on our show. We did a whole 8-hour session for free. He used to be a Texas State Trooper. And he wrote all this to empower us. He was going to make it, but apparently
because they couldn't hear Hannah, I suspect this was a bot. Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Has 8 dogs that he can't leave, so he couldn't make it for our event. But, go ahead, Papa.
You also need to take in consideration these officers are on the side of the road where you have vehicles coming through. He wants to get in and out of there as quickly as they can as well. So, and also in the question of how long does it take? Well, if you're slowly reading off a checklist, if you slowly read off the checklist, it's going to take longer.
And I'm glad that you do, Harold Doubleman.
So,
you know I say stupid shit.
Take that in consideration.
Or at least shit that is subjective at minimum.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, if y'all want that script, you can go to tiny URL.
In fairness, I don't think I said not to tell kids cops are dangerous until they're 16. I said don't teach like little kids. I said don't put kids in front of a camera until they're 16. I was thinking more like 10 years old is when you get a little more nuanced with a kid about it, but whatever. I don't have kids anyway, so not my deal.
tinyurl.com. Okay.
I like that he memorized a tiny URL. That's effective. Green Guy with a tip says, Hannah, when you are wrong, or what I like to say, not 100% right, you double down, but it's okay, you're human. See, I don't like that. I don't want to be that. Tell me I'm wrong. Like the other day, I've been questioning it since, when we were watching Night of the Living Dead. Was I too big of a dick to that person? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be a dick. I don't know. Benigami says, another good news, Trump sued every federal judge in MD, Maryland, because they put a 2-day hold on processing deportation orders so they have time to read the cases on the grounds they're obstructing ICE. A Trump-appointed judge dismissed the case on merits without even hearing the counter-argument, and his opinion statement basically read the riot act to the Trump administration for their constant attacks on the judiciary.
And then it's transpo. So transpo script. Script. I believe that's right. Let me check just one more time. Yep. Transpo script. Does anybody else have any more questions for Sunny right now? Yeah? I'll come around. Let's do it.
Real quick, I want to get her second one real quick. Can we get her second one
Go
real
ahead,
quick?
Papa. No, hold on. We'll get to it.
She's been waiting.
Okay, we'll get to it, Brandon. Go ahead, Papa.
Do y'all have any quotas that y'all have to meet as police officers that held y'all up from, say, special appointments like SWAT, things like that? I know I've had some friends.
No, and I think I went over this and I talked to a couple people here, but there's no quotas, but and I'm just speaking for my department, but you know you're not expected to be working an 11.5-hour shift and sitting under a tree. Does that make sense? Like, hey, work. We're not saying give us 10 tickets or whatever, but work. Because, I mean, and this isn't, I'm not advocating for anything, but my specific department, yeah, it has bad elements, but for the most part, it is community-based. And it's like, we do have a mission of, hey, let's try to make the community, especially in the rough spots, a little bit better for the people that live there. And I'm not just saying that to cap, like, oh, my department's so great, but, I mean, that really is.
Did this adult cop, and this is just me feeling old, did this adult cop say cap? I'm not trying to cap, as in no cap, but cap. I can't even imagine the scary new words I'll have to learn in 20 years.
One of the missions, and a lot of guys really, they go to work for that. It sounds corny, but they do.
I was curious on the diplomat side, having the sworn affidavit for the Amnesty Coalition, what that would be worth, and also additionally having diplomatic style plates without a DOT number. Like how?
That's you being old. I thought I'd at least be 40 before this started to happen, not like 30. But what are you gonna do?
Could that go over maybe one without the other and then both together?
I can answer that for you.
Oh.
Next question.
No, they're
I'll
not.
have the diplomat cards ready to go here pretty soon. We're just working on the last few things. They're going to have special passport numbers on them. They're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and just pass this fucker around. We're going to start at the front. You guys can pass this thing all the way around the whole goddamn room. That's going to answer a lot of the questions.
You're going to put our passport numbers on?
Just look at it when it comes around the room. So, next person for questions.
Just real quick, I'm gonna come right back. I just want to point something out. All right, so what we got going on right here is what y'all notice is this is what's called a notice of liability in common law. What is one of the most important things that you can do to protect yourself?
Get a driver's license.
Does anybody know? Notice. So important. Why is that?
This is when he goes to the local police departments with his paperwork and says, knock, knock, knock. Excuse me, could I talk to your manager? This is my paper that says I'm actually super special and sovereign, and if you pull me over, you owe me money.
They got to rebut that shit. They got presumptions and assumptions that must be rebutted. You got to rebut that shit. Or you're just like all...
Excuse me, Mr. Police Officer, I see you have assumed that I am a normal person that has to follow the laws, but actually I'm super special. As you can see right here, I found the cheat code that says I am not a person, which is a corporation, as you can see from my Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition, and you can't pull me over anymore. I'm very serious. Please take me seriously.
All 99, you're like the rest of the 99% of people out there. So what we do is I go up, you can go to my YouTube now, and you can see me doing it with several chiefs, several lieutenants. I do it with everybody, and nobody rejects my notice of liability, ever. They always file it and give it back, okay?
It gets filed directly into the shredder.
So if y'all want this, y'all can come into the Discord and we'll give you this as well. You got to have it notarized, okay? But we go up and serve them wherever I'm traveling. It's nice because what it will end up doing is it will allow you, here, let me show y'all real quick. Where am I going to be at? I'm going to be on my drive, huh? All right. So with a civil suit I'm about to file, I got another civil suit. I've let it gone on too long. I should have filed it a long time ago. But we got 3 years in Washington. So I went through an administrative process. I went and filed my notice of liability. I spoke with the chief. The chief recognized the aspect, yes, you have the right to travel.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Cameron is I would call him a liar, but like it's not a lie in the typical sense, right? Like someone says something that's untrue, most of the time you're going to assume they're making it up. Cameron's a special case in that, in my opinion, Cameron has a brain thing, and I don't know how to define this brain thing, so I will not try to give it a name. Cameron's filters every experience he has ever had through this filter, and this filter takes anything that he has ever experienced and changes events into whatever makes him right. Like, he just filters out information that directly contradicts what he already believes. He filters out people telling him he is wrong. Like, when he remembers things, he remembers them completely incorrectly, completely reconstructed into an event that did not happen. In which he was right all along, and everyone agreed with him the whole time. It's really kind of fascinating watching a video of an event and then seeing a video a week or a month or months later and him describing the event, because they are just so wrong. Like, his recollection is so incorrect and backwards, and it's wild to watch.
It's all recorded. It's all good. They violate me. They call my one of my clients, business clients, and then they try to get me reprimanded. So what we end up doing is this in Richfield? I think it's in Richfield. Since we filed the notice of liability, I go ahead and go through an administrative process. And I put these bad boys, after they violated me, on a notice of breach and demand for response and a notice of fine pursuant to the notice of liability. We got a contract. You broke that bitch. You're going to pay. You see what
Except you don't have a contract with them. That's not how any of this works.
I'm saying? They accepted it. Why? Because they're a corporation which is below us. We're the top dogs. We run this. They're all servants. Right? Are you a servant?
So a corporation, in the literal sense, is any group of people who come together towards a common cause and form an organization to that end. So in that sense, governmental entities are corporations, as are private corporations, but they're not the same thing. Like, by your definition, a public school is a corporation. A local movie club is a corporation, right? In the colloquial, we don't call things corporations unless they're generally, like, private for-profit companies. That's what we refer to as corporations. So no, They're not a corporation in the way that you're defining. And you as an individual, there isn't this hierarchy. They act as though there's this objective hierarchy that exists where it's like sometimes they'll put God at the top and then it'll be like God, man, corporations / governments or whatever. And it doesn't mean anything. That's not how anything works. There isn't some set objective hierarchy for every situation under the law in which you as an individual have power over people within a governmental entity as an individual. Doesn't mean anything.
Servant? Okay, unless you put on a badge like Sonny. Sonny's a servant, and Sonny seems like he's a really good servant for the people, right? You can sit down if you want. You don't have to stand this whole time. Y'all give a round of applause for Sonny, please. And if y'all want to ask some more questions, I'll actually give the microphone to Brandon, and then he can take it back. But I'm just going to run through this real quick.
And if anyone has more questions for Sonny, I can also run that back and forth.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so this is a notice and breach, demand for a response, and notice of fine pursuant. And again, what we're letting them know is within our notice of liability, what we have is a first trespass, which was put on the actual notice of liability when we filed it, which is the first trespass is $100,000 and a charge of treason. The second trespass.
Wow, Cameron, how many people have you successfully prosecuted for treason for pulling you over for driving without a license? Oh, 0? You're a fraud that acts like your claims are the same as accomplishments? Oh, that explains a lot.
Trespass is a minimum fee of $200,000 and treason. If you want to fuck with me anymore, beyond that, it's going to be $1 million each one.
Let's make it $1 billion. Let's just jack it up there. $10 quintillion.
You're already putting them on notice. We've already established a contract. Offer, acceptance. What are all three? I forget now. It's a offer.
Also, he wore sweatpants to this.
Consideration.
I'm not generally judgmental, but if I was putting on a presentation, I wouldn't wear sweatpants.
Acceptance. Yep. Okay, so then we got...
That's a low blow on my part. I don't care if you wear sweatpants.
The first notice. If they don't respond, you're giving them a time period to respond. If they don't respond, now we're moving on to the second one, right? Going through our administrative process. I got all of this for y'all with no issues, okay? Second notice. Well, you didn't respond, so now we got to...
I'm also a hypocrite. I'm wearing Freddy Krueger pajamas right now, so it's not like I'm classy. Freyline says, I always have to wonder how a world where each individual has control over their government would even work. Just thinking about the Sovset alternative universe makes my head hurt. Lots of murder, probably. Lots of murder. You know the movie The Purge? Like that. But all the time.
A notice to
hey, NB Volpine.
Cure default under the Uniform Commercial Code, okay? And this is coming under UCC Section 2-508 and a demand for acknowledgement.
We can't see your bottom half. That's my secret. All of me is the bottom half.
Respond to me and let me know.
Both halves are bottoms.
Trying to move in what? You know what we're doing. What are we moving in? Good faith. We're trying to resolve the matter before taking it to federal court or state or both, okay? So when we hit with the second one, they don't answer again. Well, guess what? Now we're hitting with the third. And you bad boys, this is a final notice to cure your default pursuant to UCC Section 2-508 and a terminal demand for acknowledgement. Further to the notices of breach dated August 15, 2023 and of September 2021. We send it both to the chief of the police department and city attorney, okay? Letting everybody know what's going on. If they're not going to respond again, well, guess what? We just went ahead and moved forward to the insurance company and let them know what we're doing, okay? So we make a claim with the insurance company and let them do their investigations.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. You make what, in my opinion, is a fraudulent claim to the insurance company. Good stuff.
This officer here, Sergeant Duran, okay, he actually got fired after I filed the insurance claim.
See, this is funny. I don't know if it's this particular officer, but I know there's a couple officers he claimed to get fired. And as I said earlier, Cameron has a tendency to change events in his head. I know at least one of the officers I was able to find was not fired. They were, in fact, promoted between the time that Cameron instigated the lawsuit. So it's possible they looked up, whatever, officer blank, and then went to look for them and they were gone. Now they're Sergeant blank or whatever. So that's kind of funny. Just putting that out there.
Wait, did y'all hear me? He got fired once I filed the insurance claim.
That's awesome, Cameron. Do you have any evidence of that other than your own grandiose claims? I'd love to see it. Fenekagami says, this is flashing me back to Dan Olson's Flat Earth video. These people don't sound like they truly believe these things. They sound more like they're seeking ways to make these things true. Like Dan concluded, these people seem to be trying to force reality to conform to their beliefs rather than having a misunderstanding of what reality is. I could see that for Cameron. And I also don't think those things are mutually exclusive, believe it or not, even though they should be. They are logically mutually exclusive. People have a lot of cognitive dissonance. They can kind of believe multiple things at once. It's weird. Human brains suck. They're made of meat. Meat is a bad material for thinking.
Straight up. That's how it goes.
Cutest short cleanse you'll see in a while. Let's take a look. Are you saying you've never been fired so hard you got a promotion? I can't say I've ever had that experience. I've never been fired. I've never been fired. That's good. That's probably good. I've quit before. Never been fired. That's good. Intense. Oh my god. Are they okay? Woo. Cutie.
It is power. I can't believe didn't nobody clap louder. But y'all better give a clap.
Please clap.
Fuck y'all talking about? For real. I worked hard on this shit.
You shouldn't have wasted the time.
Okay. Then, of course, we're doing our intent notice to sue. Okay? Now, like I said, I'm a little far behind, October. But it's because all these people have fucking been draining me to do all their goddamn paperwork. I can't even get the next suit filed, right? But again, what we end up...
How much are they paying you to do the paperwork, Cameron? Are they paying you for that? Are you complaining about being paid to do paperwork for people, even though you have no official training to file said paperwork?
Doing is now we're doing our notice of intent to sue, like Homeboy was talking about yesterday. Okay? This is what we do. We do it. So I wanted to show y'all that. That's an administrative process there on just one thing. Y'all got some more questions for Sonny though, right? Yeah? All right, let me run back. Let's run around. I like to move around and be engaging. Yeah, let's do it. Come on. Come on, we're doing it.
Yeah, sorry to trouble you, Sonny, but can we get Joe Brandon Williams pulled over?
Oh, Brandon Joe Williams pull over? They want to see a Brandon Joe Williams pull over. They want to see a Brandon Joe Williams pull over. Get your ass up here.
Sonny, get your fucking ass up here!
Sonny. Yeah, get your ass up. We're making it fun today.
This is going to be real short, so.
Yeah, just break his windows.
People act like getting pulled over is a regular occurrence, too.
This is not my...
I find that interesting. How many people here have been pulled over in the last 12 months? I am genuinely curious. These people get pulled over like 3 or 4 times a year. I've been pulled over in my entire life, I think 3 times. And like 2 of them were 100% my fault. 2 of them were 100%... Well, okay. They were all my fault, but the second 2 were more egregious. And they were years ago. 15 years since you were pulled over? Yeah, it's not a very regular occurrence for most people. Yeah, same for me. I had outdated tags. I was broke at the time. Totally my fault. I knew it was my fault. I admitted it. I was like, sorry. And it was, whatever. It was my fault. Right? Okay, cool.
No, well, it's funny. Before we start this, obviously, so before, when it comes to the 14th Amendment, I'm in a completely different position than these two are. I think with this, I think Cam is in a completely different position than where me and Joey are. I think me and Joey are in alignment on this one more so. I want to be his friend. I want to leave. I don't want to deal with any fucking bullshit. I'm not going to file anything. It's going to be the easiest, simplest fucking thing in the world, and I'll show you guys right now.
I'm not affiliated with this event, by the way. People watching at home.
Oh, hi, officer. Now notice I got my hands up like this. I got the window rolled all the way down, big smile. I'm a white guy. Hi, I'm super white. Look how white my teeth and skin are, officer.
Good afternoon, sir.
That's unfortunately one of the only funny things I've ever heard Brandon Joe Williams say.
Shut up, Negro.
I just exfoliated, sir.
But you see how this can't ever be serious? Anyway, okay. Good evening, sir. Can I get all your driving information?
Sure, I'd love to give it to you.
This is a sweet car you got there.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That's probably
Thank you so
why I
much.
pull him over.
Here you go.
Sir, driver's license. Do you have a driver's license?
I'm not allowed to have a driver's license, actually. In order to get a driver's
Then you're not allowed to be driving this car.
license, I have to be a U.S. citizen or resident alien, and I am neither.
You are actually a U.S. citizen, Brandon, because you were born here, and you didn't renounce your citizenship. So you're a citizen.
All right.
Fenekagami says, with speed cameras all over, it's far more common to get a speeding ticket in the mail these days than to get pulled over. I've been pulled over like 4 times, but not like in the last 2 years. Oh boy, I just had a realization. They're gonna put cameras all over every road and then just probably do traffic tickets based on AI analysis of shit you do while you drive. Fun! That'll be waiting for you in about 15 years.
That's great. I gotta be honest. So if this happened back then, this is just me. Not any. I would probably just move along. I would just be like, all right, have a good day. I'm being.
Again, I like that he just admits that he was like the shittiest, laziest cop on the force. He's just like, this seems a little difficult, so I would just choose to not do my job. That's an interesting admission.
Serious. I would just be like, have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
Or depending on what was going on, I would probably just be like, okay, and I would just start printing out whatever I was going to give them. To be honest with you.
Would you ask any questions like, well, you're a resident, if you're here or whatever, would you?
No,
you wouldn't get it
cops don't know that stuff. I mean, well, yeah, I would be like, well, where do you live? Are you a Florida resident? Blah, blah, blah.
Sadly, sir, I'm not. I'm actually not allowed to be a resident, so I'm actually technically what's called a non-resident alien. So I'm kind of like just a visitor, essentially, from another country.
He's not. That's all a lie. Again, I find it so funny because his strategy here is just lying to the police, which is illegal. Like, he acts like this is some pro strategy. It's not. This is just con artist shit. And if you want to be a con artist, I guess that's your business. Albeit, definitely want to look at the legality of the specific actions you're taking. But, like, this isn't some cheat code. You're just lying. Like, this isn't... I don't understand how he thinks this is a secret. You're just lying.
But I'm doing it under, like, a diplomatic umbrella.
So then I would be like, well, what's your address?
I couldn't give you an address, officer. The reason why is because if I did, it's sort of like trying to establish residency, and I feel like I would be basically...
It's not. It's asking information about a thing that already is. So if you're from another country, what's your address in that other country? What other country are you from?
like giving you false information because I couldn't have a residency even if I wanted to have one. It would be
Again, that's just untrue. He's just lying.
Essentially fraud for me to give you an address and tell you that I'm a resident when I'm really not. Do you have a body?
It's actually fraud that you're claiming you're not a resident when I know you are.
Cam on right now, sir?
I do.
Yeah, so the thing is that...
I've seen your house, you fuck. I've seen it on the internet.
Anything, and I'm assuming anything I say can and will be used against me in prosecution. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, so if I told you I was a resident, I'd be going to prison.
So at this point, I would get his license or his card, and I would say, "Okay, sir, just sit tight for a second for me," and I would be back running his stuff because he sounds like a psycho. If that happens. So, and then I would probably come back either with or without citations.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, but now I'm trying to think of like I don't have an address for you. So. So now knowing what back then, that would probably be an issue. So
you can't give a citation until you establish residency. You can't give a ticket until you've established residency.
So
okay, you're under arrest for driving a car with no license and not giving me information. Like, why? They're acting like this is a boom, gotcha. Like, no, there's no gotcha. You're under arrest for driving a car with no license.
So long story short, if this was me back then, he would just be sent on his way because that's just something I don't want to get into and tie up an hour or two of my time.
No, I have a clean car.
It's lucky in this scenario they have the shittiest cop in the history of cops.
There isn't shit all over the floor. There isn't dirty old rat fucking infested God knows what. The car isn't all fucked up and crushed, and there's not smoke and fucking pot smoke barreling out of the fucking windows. My window was all the way down.
That's how you can tell it's not a Cameron arrest.
And I had my hands at 10 and 2, and I was telling him, sir, and being kind to the officer.
And just let you know, what would probably happen is, would get his stuff, run them, and then I would verify the VIN. I would go and get the VIN and write it down and run the car and make sure it's not stolen, all that good stuff. So I left some stuff out, but you'd be there.
That would make things even more confusing because my car's under a trust in South Dakota, so it would come up as a trust name. And then what would you do if it came up as a trust name on the go? Then you'd really be fucking over.
That would be no issue. It'd be more
Garotz with 37 months says, and then boom, windows smash.
more of like, hey, is this car stolen or something?
But how often do you run a car and a trust comes up on the computer?
I mean, pretty much every rental car agency is under a trust.
Really?
I don't know why that's an O for them. Just so everyone knows, you could probably assume, but I watched this the other night. I watched this in its totality. I sat and I played Assassin's Creed Shadows for 5 hours, and I listened to this until 2 in the morning or whatever. They all seem like aghast at that, and I don't know why they're surprised that cars that are owned by a corporation are in a trust. I guess I don't get why they're all surprised. I don't know.
Shut that camera off. But
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
There,
okay.
there is trust, LLC.
Does the trustee name come up on a trust?
No. This is just for the registration. This is just like I'm reading your registration.
Yeah, but if you pull me over and a trust pops up, and you say, "Are you the registered owner?" and I say, "I'm the trustee of the trust," does it say the trustee's information on the computer?
No, that's not gonna. It's just who's the car registered to.
The trust.
Blah trust. That's it. And it's
right. Your ID should be your ID, which you're supposed to legally have to drive a vehicle regardless of who it's registered to. That's why you should have a driver's license.
Gonna have the.
So how
the
can
PO
you
box or
verify?
the
How would
business
you
address?
verify that I'm a trustee, or would you even ask that question?
No, you would never ask that question. And then at that point, like, well, this isn't the registered owner of the vehicle.
But you know it's a trust.
Yeah.
So how can you verify that I'm a trustee or not? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I know because you're way above, but cops are looking
So
for
how
very
would a
specific
cop
things.
handle that? So he doesn't even understand trustees or anything, but he sees a trust. So he's got to think, registered owner, like how would he bridge the gap between there's a trust on the computer and there's a human being in the car? How do I find out if they're the registered owner, the RO? How would you? Or do they even have those conversations?
Well, it would
in their
come
head?
up stolen, but it's not even. And I'm speaking for me. It's not on my radar. I don't care because it doesn't apply to my everyday duties.
So you would just let, by that point, you just be like,
Who's the loudmouth? That's Brandon Joe Williams. He has a YouTube channel that's full of annoying stuff.
Unless it came up
basically.
stolen,
Okay.
have
Okay.
a great day. I don't care who the trustee is.
I got a good question.
So the whole thing
Hold
only
on.
took 2 minutes.
Okay, so I got a question. Everybody always wants to know, I'm sure everybody wants to know this, In the computer system, is there a do not detain?
Never seen that.
Never seen it.
But that's a state system, right?
Never seen it. Okay, now look at what's on the screen.
They're so obsessed with the do not detain thing. The do not detain thing, from my understanding, is only a thing for, like, informants. They're not informants.
Okay, look at what's on the screen. This is more applicable.
Although I'm going to be honest, if there isn't at least one federal agent undercover at this sovereign citizen convention, I'm very disappointed. You couldn't get one. You couldn't get one Fed in here dressed in some hippie shit.
To your do not detain. I'm going to read it for you. Non-resident violator compact. As of the publication of the following, states are not members of the non-resident violator compact, and persons holding a driver's license from the following states should not be issued an appearance ticket for any violation. Alaska, Montana, California, Oregon, Michigan, Wisconsin. There's a reason why I keep those dead plates, Oregon plates, on my car. There's 6 states that are not part of the Violator Compact. Has anybody ever heard of the AAMVA? Yes. No. Show of hands of anybody beyond the people that know me.
Christopher says, stuck in a dentist chair for the 3rd time. My crown broke. Gotta get a blessing for it to go well this time. I hope it goes well. That sucks.
That have heard of the AAMVA. Wow. That's insane. Okay. So the AAMVA is actually a private member association that literally makes all of the laws and statutes and policies for every municipal police department and or sheriff's police department. If you go look up AAMVA on YouTube, they literally have promotional videos talking about, yeah, the sheriff's office down in Florida, Broward County, they're number 1 this year for the most arrests, right? They're promoting this shit. Yes, it's that bad. It's pretty bad. Now, the AAMVA actually dictates what the DMV does. So it's a non-governmental association that is dictating government associations.
Is this the first he's hearing about special interest groups and corporations that exist basically to be think tanks for the government to come up with policy? Is this the first he's hearing about this?
That wild? Private member association, not linked with the government, taking over and dictating what goes on in our country. Don't you think that's a little foul? I'm sure there's people...
Cameron, that's a thing all over the fucking place. That's, like, systemic.
People from certain associations that would love to see those fucking windows broken, right? It's the whole goal. It's the whole agenda to keep us enslaved, right? So these things are kind of important too. So this non-resident violator compact is pretty important because maybe you just want to go get a driver's license from one of these states. Well, if you did, it looks like you're protected from never getting issued an appearance ticket. And you can go check this up all you want. I know it's just a small screenshot, but this is real. This is legit, okay?
What does it mean?
What do you mean, what does it mean?
If I have a California...
If you have a driver's license from any of these states have not agreed or put themselves into the compact.
What he's trying to say is that if you have a driver's license from one of these states and you're in another state that's part of that compact, they're not gonna, or he's saying at least that they shouldn't issue you a court appearance ticket because the states that you would have your driver's license from this list don't have agreements with those states. Now, is any of that true? I don't know. But that's what he's saying.
I have agreement between all the states. If I don't get in contract, I'm not going to waive up my rights for a fucking privilege. I don't need the fucking privilege. I do what I want, right? But if you wanted to protect...
Unironically, if Cameron ever actually, like, I don't know how long he'll be able to navigate around legality. Society's kind of fucked, and it feels like con artists get to do whatever the fuck they want. So I don't know if he'll ever face consequences for his actions, but if he does, we're gonna have a party stream. If he ever actually gets in trouble and goes to prison, We're 100% having a celebration stream, because I hate this man. I really do.
Yourself just a little bit. If you did have a driver's license in any one of these states,
Hey, Ash.
and you're somewhere else, you're not to be.
Fenigami with 40 bits says, two things. One, the feds apparently haven't been infiltrating the neo-Nazi groups that keep churning out mass shooters, so why would they be here? And two, the Trump administration has dismantled most of its crime watch task forces to go after immigrants and also keep them from investigating Trump's friends, like the head of El Salvador, who makes deals with MS-13. I'm glad that society's falling apart. Everything's awesome. Thanks for the reminder. I'm not doing well.
Issued an appearance ticket for any violation. Any. Because you have California. Cool. It is fucking cool. It's pretty badass. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Any questions on that? Oh, yeah, you had a question. What's up, bro?
This is a weird one, but if I'm claiming to be a non-resident alien and I re-signed my California driver's license with all rights reserved and that kind of a thing, so would it be in California if I get pulled over? Are they unable to give me a ticket under that dynamic? That sounds like a really odd question.
On another state.
Only in other states.
Only in other states.
So you use your Alaska driver's license in California?
Yes, exactly. Flip-flop. But I'm sure they see it in the system anyways. Right. What else? Anything else right now? Okay. Yeah. Back here. Okay. Yeah, questions for Sonny or anything like that? Okay. What you got, Haraz?
I have a son who is turning 14, and
Oh, this question's fucking crazy. This question is, hey, I'm gonna teach my 14-year-old how to drive, and I don't want him to have a driver's license, so I'm just gonna let my 14-year-old drive my car whenever, wherever, without even a training permit. How's that gonna go? That's her question. I'm going to let a child drive my car illegally alone. Is that a good idea? No! You're an irresponsible parent. You want your kid to die in a fiery wreck? I wouldn't trust a 14-year-old to make me lunch. And you want them to drive a car alone without any supervision? Are you dumb?
I want to teach him how to drive, obviously, properly before he would be on his own. But what would you do in a situation?
Drive or travel?
Travel, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You know.
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting we're liars and con artists, and we're supposed to use special words and pretend it means something, sorry.
What would you do in a situation where you would pull him over and he didn't have, the car was in a trust, he didn't have any identification on him?
Oh, good question. We'd arrest you. No one says that, by the way, but I would like to point out, if your kid gets caught driving your car at 14 with no license alone, you're gonna get arrested when they find out you gave them permission, you psycho. I don't think anyone says that in the response. No one says it. But I want to point out, I hope CPS gets called on your ass, you fucking idiot.
And he looked like he was a minor, and private plates or diplomatic plate, but not a DOT.
GZB Aku, thanks for following.
Are you listening? Did you hear her?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Try again, Hadaza.
Sorry, I apologize.
I have a son who's turning 14 this year, and I want to teach him how to drive.
Travel.
Travel. Sorry, guys. So I want to teach him how to travel, and I was wondering what you would do if you pulled him over for going through a red light or something like that.
How about what happens when they pull him out of a terrible wreck and half of his body is still in the car because it's been pinned by the horrible multi-ton wreck that your child has caused? How are you going to feel about that? You going to feel good about yourself?
And he didn't have any identification, looked like a minor, cars in the trust, said he was a diplomat.
There we go.
No plate or anything.
He's going to jail. Straight juvenile.
I'm a little hungry right now, but I'm gonna try.
Benny Kagami says, question, how have the Sovsits reacted to Trump declaring martial law in 2 different U.S. cities so far? It's suspicious they don't seem to have any reaction to that. That is my impression, is they are silent in a deafening way. They are not saying shit about it, I guess, because it's not very good to their worldview. I don't know.
Honestly, I'd probably just try to locate his parent, because I think he probably just took the car or something. And
True, yeah.
So that...
What? No questions answered. What would you do then?
Try to identify him.
Yeah,
Find
for
his
sure.
parent.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, yeah, he would be in my custody if he was 14.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like I was a pretty good investigator. I would have figured it out.
Him, you, next. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that would be the first thing. You're dealing with a minor, 14. I mean, a lot of times it's obvious if somebody's a minor, in my opinion. So I would. No, I mean, I'm not an animal. I would. It's a kid. So unless he like murdered somebody, if it's a kid driving a car, my first thing is, hey, he took mom or dad's car. Let me.
And when you find out the parents gave it to him, how's that go? Peep Lord says, here's some bits for your serious-ish input. What would you do if for the rest of your life you got free health care for you in Baja? $4,288 a month non-taxable, adjust for inflation, won't go down for deflation. You get to take military space available flights, but at a low category for roll calls, so you could get stuck anywhere. There's a million airbase for a few weeks to a month. Context, got 100% VA disability after 14 years Navy. I don't know what to be when I grow up. What would I do? I don't know. I'd probably watch a lot of movies. And probably invest as much of that as I can. I don't know. I don't know. I will never have that level of stability, so.
Let me try to contact mom or dad. Hey, kid, what's your name? What's your parents' number? Hey, come pick this kid up and come get your car. It would be as simple as that. It wouldn't be like, hey, this kid's going to jail. Me personally, just based off what you're saying, I mean, yeah. What else could you do with him? He doesn't have a license. He doesn't. I mean, you know what I mean? There's not.
I like the former cop is like, of course I'm gonna arrest him. He doesn't have a license, or I'm gonna do something. Shouldn't that be very confusing to the sovereigns? Like, why?
Not really anything to impose. Like, let the parent handle it.
Is Keno an investment? Maybe talk to a financial advisor. A licensed financial advisor. Are these cops? There is one person here who is a sovereign citizen who is a former cop. He has the microphone.
A kid? You're talking about a 14-year-old? No, I know, but I'm giving it to you from the law enforcement lens. I don't know what you know, so I'm gonna be like, why is this 15-year-old giving me a fucking passport? I mean, yeah, like I can identify him, but I'm gonna be like, why is he in a car scooting around town? Like, kid, where's your mom? Does that am I making sense? Like, a cop is not like, oh, he's got a diplomatic passport, perfect. Have a good day, kid. You know what I mean?
Harold Elbelman says, exactly 20 years ago today, Katrina happened. 5 months after I turned 18, evacuated to MS and slept fitfully through the roaring white noise of a skyscraper freight train. Drove back through LA to Texas for an exile till January, restoring the house, going to college from a trailer, the city policed by the military, and plans to turn all historically black neighborhoods into green spaces, barely thwarted. I'm feeling pretty hopeful today. So much regrowth, love, and community. Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's just, the officer or deputy's not going to do that. They're going to...
You're asking that question for something that's never even really happened on this planet. Like, this is like
I'm sorry, did he just say something that's never happened on this planet? He doesn't think kids have ever stolen their parents' car before, or an irresponsible parent has allowed their 14-year-old to drive on public roads before? That happens. It's not good, but it happens.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know what would happen. I mean, maybe in 20 years, different. I don't know.
I got one. So, during my pullover, the cops decided to unlawfully search my vehicle once I was in the back of the cruiser. They they frisked me, found my wallet, pulled it out. I never identified myself, so they found my driver's license. I did tell them I had an identification card, being my passport card, but they said they touch each other in my wallet, so they found them at the same time. So they found my driver's license, and they're like, when you get pulled over, this is what you give us, okay? You're driving, this is what you give us. That's what they said. So then they went and ran all that. Somehow they couldn't find my address in the system, even though it says on the card my address, right? And then
Will Kale says Cameron and his how to get harassed by Cameron and his how to get harassed by the police speeches.
My discovery, like I was talking about yesterday, the 2 documents I received, one of them says address unknown, and then the small town I live in, and the other one says, like I said, I was in Nebraska, I live in Kansas, I was in Nebraska, I ordered an Amazon package to their house, and they found the package and used that address as my address. So they have an unknown address and a Nebraska address, both on both of the affidavits. Why would they do that? What happened?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably just got to put something on there. And I guess in the beginning they couldn't verify an address, so they put unknown. And then they probably just oh, you got an Amazon package there, let's slap that one on there. I mean, there's no rhyme. I can't really, I'm not in that officer's head, so it's hard for me I could just guess. Does that make sense? But yeah, I mean.
So then the question is, does that just get thrown out just because there's inconsistent information? Like, that seems silly. Like, how are you going to hold me to something that isn't even me or my property of any sorts?
I can answer this. Having a driver's license.
It's so annoying to me that Brandon Joe Williams will just insert himself into the answers to the questions when he himself admits that he's never won a court case. Like, you've heard him in the previous parts of this be like, I'm getting fucked in every hole of my body by the justice system, because he just doesn't win. But he acts like he's this big dick fucking court winning man. And it's like, you haven't done anything. You're a loser. Why are you talking with authority? Peep Lord says, if my newly found stability makes you feel envious, just know that I profoundly lack in intestinal fortitude. Crohn's is a bitch, and it's not at all helped by drinking phlogistinated water. Malo, Red Hill fuel spill directly into my drinking water. Oh, that's not good.
In California, it says right in CVC 4000 that having a driver's license establishes a rebuttable presumption that you are a resident of California. And that's why
you don't need to be a resident of California for its laws to apply to you.
Why, for me and Cam, I wouldn't get a fucking driver's license for all the money in the world. You can bust out all my windows every fucking weekend. I'll be eating glass like it's fucking candy.
What does CVC stand for?
California Vehicle Code.
Thank you, sir.
So anybody with a driver's license, as per Rule of Evidence 301, me and Joey's favorite thing in the world, presumptions, it is automatically presumed if you have a driver's license that you are a resident. You're already on the fucking ropes just by having the motherfucking thing.
Your residency status is irrelevant to any of the laws they are enforcing.
Hey. And what is
not something that's even coming into the cop's head. Like, it's irrelevant.
What does Federal Rule of Evidence 301 say? That if the presumption is pushed across to you, you are now burdened to prove with evidence.
Why are you bringing up federal rules of evidence? We're not in court or at the side of the road for a state or local traffic law. Federal rules of evidence, which is for federal courtrooms, is fucking irrelevant. What is he talking about?
That you are not a resident of the state in which you have a driver's license. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. I will definitely not be there trying to help you get out of that fucking mess. I'll be there, honestly, probably laughing at you having a Mike's Hard Lemonade, tell you the truth. Because we're sitting here, we're telling you why the fuck do you have a driver's license, and you guys got all these fucking questions about driver's license, just don't have the motherfucking thing. And then there's no rebuttable presumption that you are a fucking resident. I'm not a fucking resident. I'll say it
Nothing to do with it. All you're doing is stacking on another charge of operating without a license.
1,000 times. I'll put it in an affidavit. I'll whip my dick out and do a helicopter and say, I'm not a fucking resident to the whole goddamn world.
That would be another charge of indecent exposure.
Because I'm not. I'm really, really not.
What about us who have businesses that have...
It doesn't matter. Fuck them. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's where I'm at this point. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're transporting whores over state lines. I just don't care. Fuck you.
All right.
Because I'm not a...
P-Lord says, fun fact, due to judicial districting and weird racism, Guam often falls under the laws of California. The people, police, government, and judges often ignore this.
Fucking resident. You have to be a U.S. citizen or a resident to get the goddamn thing. And I know I say other things sometimes in stuff, and I say other things sometimes in shows and stuff, but you gotta commit a fucking felony just to get the goddamn thing. Fuck that. Fuck.
You don't have to commit a felony to get a driver's license.
That. I'm not telling you under penalty of perjury I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm not telling you under penalty of perjury I'm a fucking resident. It ain't happening. Well, sir,
he is both of those things, by the way.
Those are the only two you have. Well, then, bye. Take me to court. Oh, you went over state lines. They arrested you for transporting cattle. Great. Take me to court. Your Honor, 12B6 motion. What is a 12B6 motion? 12B6 is a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim for which relief can be granted. You went over state lines, sir. You went over state lines. You were in commerce. You went over state lines and you don't have a driver's license. Oh, I understand completely. I can't get a driver's license. I want to get one. I'd love to get one. I'll get one right fucking now. I'll sign for it right fucking now. The problem is, I'm not a U.S. citizen and I'm not a fucking resident.
So, first of all, like I said, he is a resident and he is a U.S. citizen. But even if he wasn't, let's say he wasn't, and you can't get a driver's license, do you know what that would mean, Brandon? It would mean you can't operate a vehicle on public roadways. Saying it's difficult or impossible for me to get a driver's license doesn't mean you get to drive without one. That's not how any of this works. That's not how anything has ever worked. The fact that the law is inconvenient for your worldview doesn't mean the law doesn't apply.
So you can't fucking get one! You can't fucking have it! So yes, you're in commerce, yes, you're under the Commerce Clause, but you can't fucking get it! So how the fuck are you supposed to get it if you can't fucking get it? Yeah. You can't
You can have one, you should have one. He's making up that you can't have one.
Have a driver's license! You are not allowed to have a fucking driver's license! Fuck you! You can't have a fucking driver's license! Doesn't matter! Doesn't matter. Fuck, go fucking find somebody and say, here's drugs, I want a car, fuck you, give me a fucking car. I don't know, go knock on someone's door, hey there, what's your name?
Peeplord says, if you lose your vital documents and are stuck in a can't get A because don't have B, can't get B because don't have A cycle, you can establish your identity by committing an act of terrorism. That's bad advice. Bittergrin with a 270 stream streak says, you're streaming so early I almost lost my watch streak, which would be a hate crime. I'm sorry. I have a flu shot scheduled for a couple hours from now, so I wanted to make sure I stream early.
Kendra, hi Kendra. My name is Brandon. Do you have any extra cars by chance?
Hydrate.
Can you get one? Do you know anyone who has an extra car lying around? You do? Who has a car you know have lying around? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, that's all right. Hey, what's your name, man?
Edward.
Edward. You got any extra cars laying around?
Might know somebody, but maybe Turo or some other agency.
Yeah, I don't have a driver's license. Fuck that, I'm not a resident. Any other choices? Any other people you know that have cars or any other options to cars or anything?
Maybe go.
Or you can go discharge. You get one for free. Just go get a car for free. With discharge.
By that, he means by defrauding a dealership.
I use Uber. I have no driver's license. I don't give a fuck. You can kill me before I'm getting a driver's license.
Okay, that's fine. No one's making you get a driver's license. You just need one if you want to drive a vehicle in public. That's it. If you want to Uber, fine, Uber. You don't need a driver's license for that. You want to use taxis? You want to hitchhike? Not safe, but you can do it.
You can fucking kill me. Dead, in the ground, buried. I'm gone.
But if an Australian comes here, can't they rent a
Yeah,
car
that's what I was
with
about to
their
say.
passport?
If somebody from another country comes in, how are they renting their cars?
I don't know. That's not a question. For real? Well, I don't know much about that. That's a whole nother thing. So, if there's more information.
They probably have Australian, like they obviously do have their passport, but they also have an Australian driver's license.
About that, great. That's maybe that's an option.
With your diplomatic passport, have you tried to rent a car with a work permit?
No. Has anyone tried?
I should point out, a lot of sovereign citizens believe that their passports are diplomatic passports. They're not. They're just normal passports, and they get confused when they see a normal other person's passport and it's the same. They think that they got a special one. It's not. It's just a passport.
Tried to rent a car with a passport? Anybody with their hand up? This guy's got his hand up. This guy's got his hand up. Oh, shit. Actually, this is a great question. Let me get both of you guys on here.
I can have it.
The question is, can you rent a car with a passport? Here we go.
Oh, you're waiting? Yeah.
I'll wait over here. So I am an assistant general manager for U-Haul. Okay. So our system.
A couple claps for U-Haul. Woo! Box trucks.
Requires that we input information, and if you give us an international driver's license, whether it's a piece of paper you created, whether it's licensed with a country that exists or not, it doesn't matter. Anything, yeah. You could go online, you could get a card printed out that says I'm from Pickletaria. It doesn't matter. If you submit that to us, we don't have a reason to reject it. It's likely not going to get rejected. And
Sounds like he's a really shitty employee of U-Haul. Like, unironically, if they start doing this and sovereign citizens start renting a bunch of U-Hauls and fucking them up or stealing them, this is gonna get closed real quick. Like, they'll start getting emails sent out to every U-Haul franchise going, hey, you fucking idiots! Stop giving our vehicles to people without licenses! Jesus Christ!
you're going to get the rental.
That's huge.
Well, there you go.
That's huge.
Like, I don't know how to put this. Anyone who's worked for any company that requires, like, seeing people's ID or, like, evaluating someone's identity based on ID or things of that nature where people might try to trick you or obfuscate their identity. Occasionally, people will come up with new, like, ways of tricking whatever your company's system is, and then you'll get your fucking monthly emails that say, like, hey, heads up, here's all the stupid shit people are trying to do to steal from us or whatever, and you read the email and you go, okay, we'll make sure we don't do that shit. Like, this is coming, I don't want to get too specific, but, like, I work in a job in real life outside of this that involves, how do I put this? It's not this, it's not like car rental, but it's a similar thing where you have to evaluate people's IDs, and there might be people trying to get certain things over on you. And I assure you there are entire departments within the company whose job is to evaluate these kind of, like, threats to the business and making sure that the people at the ground level of the business who actually deal with people are aware of them so you don't scam the business. I think that's vague enough that you kind of get what I'm saying. I think that makes sense. If you find a loophole, it'll get covered quickly, is what I'm saying.
Guess a Pickletarian driver's license is currently in the works.
Oh, I'm sure that'll work. Green guy with a tip says, I'm making chicken tikka masala for dinner. The Honda and Tacoma just raced right through me.
Let me get one more. I want to talk to this guy real quick. I want to talk to this guy about this. Same thing. Same question. I want to see what, this is actually fascinating, even me. So let's hear this.
That's massive. So there's an association for international driving license. And so I take the Australian passport and I take the grey little card, which has like little fancy stamps on it. And I can rent anything anywhere. And the other thing is, I've worked with the Australian Embassy, is when you have a diplomatic plate, they don't stop you. Just go.
So in other words, you can make your own.
Right, but if you have a diplomatic plate from the Australian government, it's real, not fake. Do you see the difference between a real plate and a fake one?
Motherfucking driver's license. And that's legal. You can do that. But if you go get one, you're a fucking felon. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it because I don't want to be involved in felonies. I'm not interested. I went in, it took me 10 minutes. I was in and out of the DMV in 10 fucking minutes. They gave me a little sheet of paper. They said, why are you turning this thing in? I said, I'm not a resident of any of the 50 states or the District of Columbia. They said, okay, and they took it away. That was it.
He still has his question.
But
let's ask him.
Sonny and possibly Sonny, this one's for you. Sorry to interrupt. Possibly Cameron as well. So I just a little background. Back in late October, I actually did get pulled over, and it was for a headlight being out, and it was quite interesting because the state trooper was ahead of me, and I was behind him, and we turned onto the highway and whatnot, and he slowed down to pull over myself, and so I pulled into the gas station because I'm the kind of guy who will take you another 20 minutes down the road and possibly turn my hazards lights on because I'm not the kind of guy who likes to pull over on the side of the highway.
20 minutes? Okay, look, I get that you need... Okay, ugh. Sometimes you need to move a little bit. Like, within a minute. I understand, like, within a minute, you need to get somewhere to pull over. Cops do not want you to fucking drive them 20 minutes away. They're gonna think you're running and not pulling over for them because you're not. So don't do that.
So I've led a couple police officers, state troopers, whatnot, down the street just because for my safety, and I do consider theirs as well, I do that for them. My question lies, though, is, you know, when it comes to, I guess, search of information, I don't carry a driver's license. I carry my passport, and that's what I provided to the state trooper. You know, and I was just coming into Cameron stuff, and so I didn't want to provide anything, but because of the sake of just trying to get things going through, I gave him my passport. How can they identify whether you have a warrant or not if you do not provide any of that information until they say, okay, well, you're being detained or you're being...
Potentially, they could look up if your car has a VIN number or a registration that's ever been active. They could look that up, and if you're the registered owner of the vehicle and you have a warrant, then they can get you that way.
Arrested.
And they might have a picture for it, too.
And then, from what I understand, you'll provide the information, and then they'll be able to determine whether you have a warrant or not. But prior to providing any information, like let's say I said, well, you know, here's my name and date of birth.
That happened somewhat recently to Cameron when he was arrested. He had allegedly an active warrant, and they pulled that based on the vehicle, not his ID, because he wasn't providing his ID.
Would they be able to pull whether you have a warrant from that, or?
Yes.
Okay. So at that point in time, then they would just move forward with the arrest because there is a warrant, or because they say that there's a warrant, or is that something that we say, okay, well, can you please provide the warrant?
No, because if I'm looking and I see you have a warrant, I already have the warrant. I mean, I have to verify it.
Yeah, you have to confirm it, right?
I have to confirm it, but yes, I'll already know all that information.
And not all warrants are confirmed.
No, they're not.
So how would they move forward if it's an unconfirmed warrant?
I would let you go.
Yep, issue your tickets and let go.
So,
Oh, that's interesting.
do we ask them whether it's confirmed or not?
No, you're gonna know if you'll be in the back of the car if it's confirmed. If it's not, you're still gonna be.
Well, that's why I asked, because when
I'm not being a dick. I'm being serious.
Right. Because out of my experience, they said I had a warrant, but they didn't. They're like, well, we don't know why. We don't. It's just here. It's just on the computer, but we don't know why he has a warrant. You know, and I spent 5 days in jail because it was over the weekend or whatever, and I was calm and cool about it, and because after learning all the stuff. But at the end of the day,
what was it for? If you don't mind me asking, was it like a?
I'm really curious how long he was a cop too. Was it like a year? Was it like 5 years?
My warrant itself?
Because it doesn't seem like he has as much experience as he lets on. At least that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So it was issued based off of child support. That's something else that I've.
That's different.
Child support.
That's not. That's not criminal. That's like a. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so, which is all cleared up and good to go. But at the end of the day, my question was just in curiosity. Well, you guys don't know what the warrant is for, but you're telling me I have one, and I asked, well, what are we doing here? And they're like, well, we don't know. We already got you. We're taking you in.
Well, depending on the state, but like they probably don't want. They just say a warrant because they don't want to explain. Usually, it's like what child support. It's like called a writ of. What is it? I'm sorry. I've been out of the traffic game a while. It's a writ of something, so it's not like a warrant, but it's like a pickup because you got to go to the judge wants to see you and you got to go to court, and they'll be like.
There's no way he said 19 years. He was a cop for 19 years? Did he start being a cop when he was 12? He doesn't even look that old. Are you kidding me?
Some generic
Jesus.
explanation there, like sometimes it'll say like failure to pay child support or whatever reason, but yeah, exactly. It's like a writ of something. Is it habeas corpus? Doesn't matter. Anyways, the point is that it'll be some generic reason. That's why they probably didn't tell you right away, and they don't want to explain what a writ is because they probably don't know. So.
All right. Very well. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Because I didn't know whatever that shit was.
All right. So there's a lot of people also signing a form to surrender their driver's license, and we've heard various things about what comes back in the system when they get pulled over, like it being suspended. And we don't know if people's information stays in the system after they surrender their license.
I can answer this one. I've actually done it. It's in my.
See what I mean? Brandon just fucking comes in again. He's won no court cases, and he's just like, boom! I got a thing to say about it. Let me I gotta swear. I gotta say dick. I gotta fucking be loud. It's terrible.
Course, the actual printout. I got the printout from the actual DMV on this, and you can actually see I show the actual printout of the entire account of the driver's license. You can pay $5, and you can get a full account print off of your entire history of your driver's license. On mine, it says like surrendered by owner, and then below that it says expired. So it says both on there. It's probably different state by state, and It's not a question that most people are going to be able to answer because most reports I've gotten, the DMV people, many of them who have been there for 20 or 25 years has never, ever seen someone come in and surrender their fucking license.
Yeah, because it's like a nonsensical thing to do for the most part. Like, if you were moving to another state or something, I think most people would just let their old one expire. Because what would be the point, you know?
Is it sufficient if it expires, or do you have to...
No, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Like, I know a lot of people say a lot of different things on this. That's the biggest fucking absolutely not I could ever absolutely not under the fucking sun, moon, and fucking stars. Ever. Every contract in the planet, you want to go in and clearly say, fuck you, fuck this, and you want...
Oh, he's incredibly insufferable. He's great. He's terrible. He's one of the most obnoxious people I've ever had to listen to. It's beautiful.
Evidence that you did it. Fuck you,
fuck this.
I really do get the vibe that probably even within this community, a lot of people are probably annoyed by Brandon Joe Williams because he's intentionally grating. Like, that's his whole thing, is he tries to intentionally, I think, be provocative by swearing and being like a grating asshole. And it's just obnoxious. Who wants to deal with that?
And I want evidence that you did it. That way it's crystal clear. Otherwise, what does 301 say?
It also, frankly, and it's not like people were taking sovereign citizens seriously anyway, but I do want to point out, it makes them look real bad. Like, Brandon Joe Williams makes them look so fucking bad. And it makes them look like a joke. And they already are, but you know, on the face of it, even if you've never heard of this stuff before, if you listen to him speak, everyone would go like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Bunch of fucking presumption. Oh, presumption. It's expired. Well, this and the presumption that. Oh, it's fucking. But when you say fuck you, fuck this, and I want evidence, pretty fucking clear. I'm gonna give it to this guy next. He's had his hand up for a little while. But try to be a little shorter if you can and more concise with the questions from this point forward for everybody, okay?
You be more concise.
I'm a little less on a question, a little bit of help to this young lady that asked the question about what would
Can we
happen.
get a 5K channel point Ask the Magic 8 Ball reward? That's actually a good one. I do want to set that up. I think someone else recommended that too, and I think that's a good idea. I'll set that up before tomorrow.
If your child was operating a vehicle and got pulled over, and I think the answer is kind of depends on the cop and the jurisdiction, but I have 11 children.
Will Cameron Wilson ever win in court based on the merits of his arguments instead of a cop just not showing up? Don't count on it. That's the actual answer. I didn't make that up. Thanks, Dice in a Ball.
None of which have social security numbers or birth certificates.
Oh yeah, did you hear that shit? Let me go back.
And more concise with the questions from this point forward for everybody, okay?
Well, I'm a little less on a question, a little bit of help to this young lady that asked the question about what would happen if your child was operating a vehicle and got pulled over. And I think the answer is kind of depends on the cop and the jurisdiction, but I have 11 children.
No, I'm actually not gonna applaud that. Have fewer children, you fucking selfish cunt. Like, straight up, above, like, 6 children, you don't have children. You have breeding stock. You have, like, you have a weird fetish. I don't know what the deal is. Like, I think 6 is too many, but I'm willing to, like, not give people more than I think is reasonable. 11 children? You're abusing your children. Fucker.
None of which have social security numbers or birth certificates.
Woo! I made all my children's lives incredibly difficult. Woo! I ruined them. Yay!
That's amazing. Three of which make a regular practice of getting pulled over.
A ton of Australian normies are finding out about SOVSITs after a decent mainstream media news piece, and unfortunately 2 cops getting ended this week. It's odd having friends who are unaware asking about what makes it all tick. I did hear about that. Yeah, there was an Australian incident with some cops getting killed by a sovereign citizen recently. We're probably going to cover that on the next General Sovereign Citizen Watch.
8 of them travel. I've got a 21-year-old son who thinks that you probably should get pulled over about every 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, congrats on the future felon. Really good parenting. You've ruined all of your children's lives and indoctrinated most of them into something that's going to cause them serious legal issues until they die. So that's good. Real good parenting.
And we could say that he is probably not the most, he doesn't have the most tact, let's put it that way.
I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. Here's my Johnny Carson Karnak bit. Let's see. Several felonies, aggravated murder charge. Oh, it's that kid's future sentence. Cool beans.
He has roughly got 8 to 10 citations written against him. He got pulled over 2 weeks ago, and he calls me because he's got a tail light out. He doesn't have plates on the car, and he doesn't have insurance on the car. Well, he has insurance, but he doesn't have the paper. The vehicles for all my children are in a trust that I formed.
Green guy with a tip says, Hannah, if you were a snack, would your packaging now read traces of nuts processed in a place that handles nuts? Or new and improved, now nut-free? The last one. Definitely the last one.
20 years ago. And anyway, so I'm thinking, okay, well,
Reminder that if you're a parent, do a good job or else you'll fuck up your kids and their lives will be a nightmare. Look at what my parents did to me. Yay!
I know he's got at least 8 unpaid tickets over a span of 4 years. So whether those unpaid tickets have gone into arrest warrants that are confirmed or unconfirmed, we're about to find out, right?
They won't.
So
go
I'm
into
thinking
warrants.
he's 25 minutes from me. It's midnight because he can never get pulled over during the day. He has to get pulled over when his father's asleep. So I'm getting up out of bed and trying to figure, okay, how do I get...
I'm sorry, you can't complain about your kid being a piece of shit when you turned him into it. Come on now.
to where my son is, because I'm going to help assist with this issue. Long story short, they write him another ticket. They can clearly see that he's got 8 to 10 tickets unpaid, undressed, didn't ever show up for him. And a newbie cop is got him in cuffs in the back of the car, and she called the main station, and whoever was on duty told her to let him go. So another ticket that won't be paid. And I have one of my...
How does he understand that, like, he's compounding the issue? Like, getting lucky that time with a lack of arrest and then immediately saying, we're not gonna pay that ticket. Like, you get that you're the asshole, right? Someone was nice to you and gave you a break and didn't arrest your kid despite the numerous unpaid tickets. And you're immediately turning around and spitting in their face and going, thanks for the break, dipshit. And then going, I'm not paying that. Fucking asshole, man.
My son's has been pulled over twice, and he's never been even issued a warning, let alone a ticket. He's a little...
Green guy with a $3 tip says, but your life brought you to your wife and the mountain of Blu-rays and a lifetime of mental health issues that you will never understand.
More pleasant to deal with than the younger one. So I got to tell this story, and I'll keep it short. 10, 11 years ago, I get pulled over. I'm in one of my company vehicles, and it's over 10,000 pounds, so it's regular. It would register as a commercial vehicle. I have plates that go to nowhere. That's a whole nother story. But I have plates that are from Missouri, which I'm not in and have never lived in. And these plates go to nowhere.
Oh, so they're fraud. You're doing fraud. Thanks.
And he pulls me over. And the reason is because there are more cops that know what's going on than what most of us think of. I can give you 100 dirty cop stories, but this is an interesting one.
Oh, this is fucking hilarious. Yeah, this is a story he tells about meeting a sovereign citizen cop that has a little study group of other cops that are also dipshits.
He says, I need to write you a citation because you do not have this vehicle registered, which was true. And I said, don't worry about it. I understand the Queen needs her money. And he looked at me and he says, what'd you say? I said, I understand the Queen needs her money. I said, everybody needs their cut of the pie and the Queen needs her money, so go ahead and give me the ticket. And he says, would you get out of the car, please? I thought, oh boy, I'm in trouble. But I didn't get in trouble. We went up into his car and we talked on the side of the road for an hour and a half about this kind of stuff because he was fully informed of what I was saying is true.
And then everybody clapped.
And he says, you know, there's a group of about 8 of us in commercial vehicle enforcement in this side of the state that have heard these arguments and comments over the 30 years. And so we've formed a study group. And he says, we know the things that you're talking about are 100% accurate. So that being said,
I'm pretty 50-50 on whether or not any of that story is true. I would just say he completely made it up, other than... How do I put this? I understand cognitive dissonance. I understand denying something that's embarrassing that happened. I don't understand the psychology behind completely manufacturing out of whole cloth a self-serving story. So I don't want to believe he did that, because that would be genuinely insane to make up a completely fake story to try and lend credence to a thing you believe. But people do that, so it's like not impossible. Just the thought of someone sitting there and going, I'm gonna make up a whole story to make them think cops are on our side. Like, I can't fathom it. I have trouble believing that someone would do that. But I know some people do that, so I don't know. Fenekagami says, the fact that all the combating crime talk that politicians tend to do isn't addressing stuff like this, or white-collar crime, or MLMs and scams that are so destructive to our society and instead are about beating up homeless people, is never going to not piss me off. Yeah, we're, a species of selfish, self-serving fucking assholes. So society's fucked up because it's comprised of fundamentally selfish apes. We're disgusting, and we should all feel bad. There's those mental health problems I was talking about.
Hey, there are pockets around the country where, you know, just because they're a cop, like I say, 95% of them, it's just a job. But when you're in an issue of constant potential conflict, you have a motive to figure out if these people are crazy or if they know what they're talking about. And so I think there are more people out there that are in law enforcement, as we would call them, that do have an interest and are aware of the way things really are.
What state was that?
Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah, and the nicer we are, the better we are at knowing the information and sharing it, the more we're going to...
Oh, Brandon Joe Williams has something to say about this. That's crazy. He's normally so quiet and demure.
See shit like that, guys. Guess who's going to make that? It ain't going to be the fucking ether. It's going to be us. He was pulled over in Iowa, but a lot of the tickets that he's gotten were in Texas. And to tell you the truth, me and Joey have horror stories of Texas, and I've heard more horror stories from Texas than any other state. So, I actually, the farther I go into crazy-ass legal shit, the more I love the liberals, I'll tell you right now. But anyways, let's get some more. I'm enjoying the questions. Are we cool with questions? Cam, where's Cam? Where's Cameron? I still don't see him. Oh, there he is. Are we cool with questions? We cool? Okay, good. Just want to make sure I'm not.
Wait. It's break time.
What kind of break?
It really is 15-minute break time.
15-minute break? No, fuck these people. We're going to keep them prisoner. One more question, and then we'll do a break.
This is something that's weird, too. They were supposed to do a break like an hour ago, and Brandon vetoed it. Very weird. Oh, a juggle command. Okay, I'm gonna be very careful about this because of my surgery. Oh, I accidentally hit deny. I'll still do it, but I guess you get to keep the points.
Hey everyone, so for rental cars, I did try recently for this event renting a car with my passport on Turo, and they didn't like it. They really wanted the driver's license. So Turo called me up and says, okay, you have 2.5 hours before we report the vehicle stolen. I rented it out of San Antonio. Luckily, I left my driver's license in California. Somebody was able to take a picture, send it over, right? I sent it to a guy, talked to him on the phone, the guy whom I rented it from. And he was very cordial. He said, like, hey, man, you don't deserve
Bittergrin says, wait, if they're opposites, how does he have the same power to deny them a break? Claim your break as the sovereign you are!
this. I get you, just don't get caught, right? And he talked to Turo, straightened it out. So for Turo, they don't like it.
So you're saying you got the car with the passport?
I got the car with no identification.
How's that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's literally just a really terrible worker at the rental car place that let you do that. That's not policy. You basically conned that guy.
So how does that?
That's the funniest thing to me is when sovereign citizens accidentally do a con and they don't realize that that's what they're doing. Like, you got a vehicle without any kind of identification. That's a con you accidentally did. I don't know if you know that.
So I never used Turo before, so and I have a custom Android, so it's de-Googled. But I couldn't use the app. I just used the web app. I input my information, and there's no picture of an ID uploaded. And I find a car. A lot of people, they kind of just use lockboxes and like automatic text. So I get an automatic text, it has the instructions, go over, lockbox on the window, I take the car and everything's good until they're like, oh, we need you to upload your driver's license.
People rent their personal vehicles. Oh, it's like Airbnb, but for rental cars? Jesus Christ. Sorry, the appification of everything into unregulated gig marketplaces makes me want to vomit my skeleton directly into the grave.
So then I sent the passport, holding the passport card, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. But yeah, Turo doesn't like it, so that's a quick one right there. For Sunny, I do have a question. My car on Thanksgiving, unfortunately, was broken into on my property. And when I called the sheriffs, they really wanted to see my ID. Where's Sunny? Ah, oh, dang it. Okay, well. All right, I'll hold on that one.
So you didn't, like the upload button to upload a picture, it was like there, but it wasn't required to submit the form?
Correct. On the web app, there's...
It's genuinely like they're all just looking for loopholes. They're just sharing loopholes to get rental cars. The thing is, I have a driver's license, so if I needed to rent a car, I could just go to fucking Avis or whoever does rent-a-cars now, I don't know. And I could just rent a car, you know, like an adult.
You could on your profile like upload it at any point, but in order to actually book something, you don't need that. So I think you could couple this strategy with the gentleman over there who said like any international permits, right? And for me, de-Google's phone, I talked to Turo support. They said just upload it on the messenger, right? On the messenger.
Orion with a super chat says, fun fact, I got rear-ended by someone in a Turo. The sheer hoops I had to go into with insurance for that took months, and it was a labyrinthian horror. I bet.
Portion of the website that they have, and that works.
What did you say to them? So they said there's blah blah blah, and you said all I have is a passport. I want to upload a passport. And then what did they say? And then what did you say? You said it went downhill from there, but what was actually said?
So I only referenced ID, and I always kept it as ID. Oh, I'm trying to upload my ID. And I legitimately was trying to upload my ID via the app, and it was just not working. So I did call support, and I said, okay, I'm trying to upload my ID. They said, okay, you could send it through the messenger portion of the web app. And I said, just to clarify, because it's a recorded call on their end, it's like, okay, so the whole purpose is to verify that I'm the human being taking the car just in case anything happens, right? At that point, an ID is sufficient. So never use the word driver's license on my end.
So in other words, you can get a car with a fucking...
Again, that's just social engineering. You didn't find a secret trick. You conned them into giving you something you shouldn't have been given. Like, do they understand the distinction, and do they care? I guess is my thought. Like, do they know that they're just kind of like, whoop, 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 we're navigating around a system in like borderline fraudulent ways and barely getting away with it? Or do they like genuinely, they're like, no, these are the cheat codes.
fucking passport and put the fucking passport in when they call you, say, I'm a foreign diplomat, all I've got is a fucking passport, I want to rent a car. And then they say no, and then you say, well, why the fuck is that? What are you guys operating off of? And then let me speak to your supervisor and be kind, and that's it. That's all.
Oh, so again, trying to social engineer your way into getting something you otherwise shouldn't have. Con artistry. Great.
You can do, but basically, I get fucking pissed off with this fucking stupid goddamn question, honestly. Because the thing is what I hear is, oh, Brandon, I can't rent a car, so I'm gonna be a fucking felon. I'm gonna commit.
When he says be a felon, he means get a driver's license, because again, I remind you, he believes it is a felony to claim you are a resident when you're not to get a driver's license, which it probably is, but the problem is he is a resident and he's claiming he's not, so he's saying it's a felony. Even though it's not, he should get a driver's license and he can have one because he is both a citizen and a resident, but here he is doing annoying voices.
Felonies, because it's a little bit of an inconvenience when I occasionally go somewhere I can't rent a fucking car. That's what I hear. That's why I get a little angry. That's why I was kind of screaming earlier. It's like, bro, good people don't commit felonies. Are you guys?
You are literally committing felonies all the time.
Guys, good people? No. Thank you.
So I'm actually in your corner, but I realize that it's difficult to operate out in the world without a driver's license. So I rescinded my contract with the DMV and gave them notice of my non-resident, non-domiciled. I'm not any of these things, but because they're my servants, I told them that I'm holding their property.
They're not your servants, they're public servants. You are not the public. You are a member of the public. You are not the public.
And I want to treat that property honorably, and I will give it back to you in exchange for your documentation to me that I can travel exempt, privately, and safely. And I'm keeping it so I can avoid conflict with your other officers and agencies. So I'm a big advocate for making your own law because you've rebutted the presumption of having the officer.
Fun fact, you can't make your own law. That's the legislature's job.
Office or agency of the driver, because that's a thing with the agency that gave it to you, but you should probably do that with notice to your governor and Secretary of State that you're operating in that capacity. So if you notice those three agencies, you're creating your own law with them, and you can still hold the card in your wallet, and you've rebutted the presumption.
Now let me ask you guys a question. If you have a
Just a Peach with a tip says, I learned on my recent trip that you can't rent a car in the state your driver's license is from without a CC, without a credit card, because of past fraud problems. If you have a driver's license from another state, you can use your return ticket. Only exception is active duty military. I guess that kind of makes sense. I can see why that would be a thing.
a driver's license and it creates a rebuttable presumption that you are a resident of a state, and you now are saddled or butt-fucked with having to provide evidence against that rebuttable presumption, what kind of things or items would be considered evidence? Does anyone even know the answer to the fucking question?
Affidavit.
Thank you. Wow, okay. Raise of hands. How many people knew the answer was affidavit? Raise of hands. Yeah, it's why you're all fucked. Like 10% of you, right? So if you're not writing an affidavit, you aren't providing evidence to rebut the presumption. So if you have a driver's license, you are a resident. You are. And you're not, so
what is this guy's problem? I imagine they're numerous.
then now you're a fucking felon because now you're lying there under penalty of perjury too. You're fucked any way you look at it. Oh, when I commit felonies, so I can rent a fucking car. Oh. It's disgusting, frankly. It's fucking disgusting.
Like, is he just not the most, like, it's just like his voice just grates on you. Even when he's not doing an intentional, like, ooh, I'm doing a voice. Like, it just grates on you. It's something about it. I don't know what it is. It just drives me up a wall. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Are you gonna let that?
Pisses me off. I Uber. It is definitely a little bit of a pain in the ass. I Uber a lot. I meet some cool people. Joey Kimbrough.
I don't like to get talkative with my Uber drivers. Nothing against them. The ones I have talked to because they're talkers, they've been nice. I just don't want it. I just need a ride somewhere. Please, don't make me work. Don't make me work. Talking to people is work. Fennikagami says, FYI, ICE and other law enforcement agencies are starting to use iris technology that can identify you by your irises from up to 15 feet away due to the uniqueness of our individual eyes. On an unrelated note, the sun is the #1 cause of damage to your eyes, and sunglasses are going to get more expensive as the tariffs kick in. So I recommend buying some soon and wearing them year-round, since UV radiation is dangerous no matter the season.
Anything you want to say on any of this? I haven't heard from Joey in a while, and I'm getting a little bit depressed about it.
I Uber a lot too, but I can tell you that now has changed, just from the discussion we've had here in the last half hour. I'm rolling up in this, and I hope we do this again next year. I don't know how all you guys feel
I hope they do too.
about this, but I will be rolling up in this bitch in a U-Haul next year. A 19-footer filled full of Thai hookers that I just picked up from the strip the night before. So, yeah, Brandon's excited about that, I know. But honestly, I think we're all out there researching, and that is the coolest shit, just to hear that, you know, the experiences, we're back to that again, of all of us testing it out, at least those ones of us that are testing it out. The rental car thing, that's a concern of mine as well, because I've rescinded my license with the state of Indiana, cut that contract. We all know the ones that I've kept. I'm pretty vocal about
People
that.
saying, what? See, the joke is that women aren't people, they're property to be used for sexual purposes, and it's supposed to be doubly funny because they're not white women. They're from Thailand. And as we all know, Asian women, again, according to these people, are doubly sexual objects and not to be counted amongst human beings. That's what they were laughing at. Was ha 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 ha. Isn't it so funny that these Thai women, I'm imagining, are sex objects and not people? Ha ha ha. We're such good people. Ha ha.
But that I agree with Brandon. If there's one thing that I could say is citation versus misdemeanor versus felony are 3 different things, and
My point is these people are disgusting and their morality is rotten to the core.
hearing Officer Sonny, God love him, citations are all he's handing you on the side of the road. He's not handing you misdemeanors or felonies. You may be committing a felony because you have a driver's license, but that's not going to be handled there on the side of the road. He's giving you a citation. Fuck a citation. Who cares about a citation? You give a rat's ass. But I do care about misdemeanors and felonies. So just kind of pick your lane. Which one do you want? You want a license where you're going to be committing a felony if you believe what Brandon believes, which I
shouldn't.
Truly do believe that piece of it. I do, because
Okay, you're wrong.
he showed me the proof of what it says to have a driver's
Okay, you're very gullible that you believed that. Sorry.
license. So I bought in. I'm there with you. But it is an extreme pain in the ass. a fucking pain in the ass to operate outside of what's been created for us and shoved down our throat. I've been riding Ubers all weekend. I didn't know about the U-Haul thing, but I would have loved to have known that on day one. I wish we had another day. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, but there's just so much stuff. I mean, I'll make this really super quick too, or you get.
No, go ahead, keep going.
So, this morning, I'm pissed off. And I'm going to tell you, it sounds like I'm high maintenance because every day I start.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead. This guy tells a story that's boring and no one cares about, and then they do a lunch
Born
break.
in one of the 50.
Oh, Jesus, what is he talking about now?
You have to read the Naturalization Act.
They went on break, so of course Brandon has decided this break is my opportunity to talk more.
Because they're certified. I don't have a birth certificate, so.
Like I said earlier, it's hard for me to answer a lot of these kind of questions. I was talking with this guy yesterday about this. So the whole state citizen naturalization thing is brand fucking new. I haven't even had a chance to write it on the goddamn web.
It's the same shit, different day.
I recorded with my county recorder in Howard County, Indiana, an affidavit of
Trying to see if there's anything else I want to cover before we call it a day. I know Sydney talks briefly, I think.
Failing miserably at everything, and then he's like, God damn, I need to fucking expand my fucking tool chest.
Brandon talks a lot more, surprise.
and what you're ultimately wanting to do with.
Dan Vincent, and now his name sounds like.
Let me see when Sydney comes.
So, whatever you need to do, don't see that, one. Every minute you spend inside of
Brandon, shut up.
You literally.
They really got to not invite Brandon next year. Holy fuck. Fenekagami says, also, please keep an eye on anyone who uses chat bots. OpenAI is being sued now by the parents of a 17-year-old who was coached into suicide by ChatGPT. Yeah, even amongst chat bots, ChatGPT is terrible from what I've seen in terms of sycophancy, in terms of not pushing up against people's delusions or thoughts that are dangerous. So yeah, keep an eye on that shit.
Might as well fucking kill yourself.
Don't do that. I love you.
I'm not kidding. I'm literally not even joking. Just hang yourself. Either leave family court and sue everybody in a federal court or someplace else, or fucking hang yourself.
He's an intense boy, isn't he? Very intense. Abyssal or Abyssal GM, thanks for following.
I'm serious. When you see Divorce Corp, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's literally not even fucking real. And people always say, oh, well, federal court's not real either. Fine. Even if I accepted that, which I don't know if I do, I don't know how I feel about that. Family court is not.
Oh my God, get to Sydney. Shut up, Brandon.
Get out.
There we go.
Well, work it out. Work out getting out. That's the answer.
What was that guy's name back there that was talking about family court? Steve? Hey, Steve. Hey, I wanted to introduce you to Sydney and Matthew real quick. I'm gonna let.
Oh, you want to hear something fucking nuts? Sydney's in grad school! Ah! Sydney, this woman that we've seen who is an acolyte of Cameron's, she's in grad school. So that's good. Ugh.
Sydney tell a little bit about her situation, and then
She's getting a doctorate of physical therapy or something. I guess I don't know if that would be grad school. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I don't know if that's an MD or a PhD. She's in some sort of... So if you're looking for a physical therapist, that is grad school. Keep an eye out for Sydney.
we're gonna go over what we did this weekend. Okay.
Okay, so I'm Sydney.
Yeah, talk real loud.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I have a son that is in Alaska. I have a son that is in Alaska currently, and I am going through a family law court situation.
Let's hope the kid stays as far away as possible from her.
The court's trying to take my son away, and I was...
She's not in Alaska, the kid is. She's in the continental United States.
Per se, I guess, for a while.
I guess I don't know if she's from Alaska. That's possible. But I believe the kid is with another guardian. I don't know if it's the dad or grandparents or someone else. No idea.
Until I went to a domestic violence shelter, and they gave me an attorney that they said was going to be wonderful. They'll help me. There's no way that I could lose my son. She made sure to have my son get taken away from me very quickly.
She was self-interested in her career.
Yeah, she took another job opportunity and kind of just threw me under the bus.
Immediately after she lost your case.
Yes, and so after that, I was devastated, and I didn't understand what to do because I've never done any type of court things. I started just doing my own documents as much as I could, and then I met a man. I think he's 88, and he was a judge for 30 years, and prior to that, he was a family law attorney for 25 years. He started to help me out with all the documents, and he looked through my case and assured me that I would never lose. There's no chance, and that I should just be confident that I will get him back. This must just be like a glitch.
I will say I'm very curious about the facts of the case. I'm not privy to it at all. She doesn't go into the specifics. It's not available to my information. So I am very curious what the actual, facts of this case are that she's kind of vague about.
There's just...
Because, it's possible for the family courts, for courts in general, to make mistakes. I'm aware of that. Seems pretty consistent that they're keeping this kid away from her, though, which is interesting.
There must be something.
I'm wondering if any of it is predicated on the strange sovereign citizen beliefs, or if that's irrelevant.
Wrong. So he helped me out with the documents. They were perfect. He was typing them all out, and it was awesome. I was so grateful. He did all that for free for me as a friend. And so he was confident, and I was confident because he was confident, And then we got denials after denials on all of my orders, and all the motions got denied, and he couldn't even comprehend that. He said that he was embarrassed to ever even be a judge at that point. He's never seen anyone lose as much as I did. I did move away from Alaska. I went to...
Okay, so she was from Alaska.
Oregon, and then after that, California, because my ex was a stalker, but that's a long story. Though, after that, I met Cam through Quentin and Matthew, and he's been super helpful.
Where's your kid? Has he been helpful? Is your kid still in Alaska? Not that helpful.
Just the other night, we stayed up, I think it was 1 a.m. for a couple hours, and I sent him all of my documents, and he ran it through. I think it was called Manus. There was a website thing, and it was awesome. He submitted all the documents, all the court stuff, and a couple hours later...
Baja says, there has to be more to this case. They wouldn't keep her kid from her for no reason. That's why I'm curious, because, she's so vague. She's just we should have won. They said we would have won. And she's saying her ex is a stalker, yet she's the one who's being denied custody. There's some element here that we are missing. We are missing a very key puzzle piece. I don't know what's going on, and I want to know. Ultimate Undying says, I appreciate everyone. Hang on to everyone. Good advice.
All the documents popped up, and he's helping me throughout all this stuff, so I feel so much more confident that everything's going to turn around, and I'm so grateful for Cam for everything.
But the previous people were just as confident. You literally said, they said there's no way you could lose. You just found another super confident guy. You just did the same thing again. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is something.
Everything that he's done. And yeah, I know that everything's going to be okay. And I'm glad to have met all of you guys. You're also awesome. So thank you.
Now, Steve, what I want to point out here is the aspect that we work together with our people. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're like, oh, well, what do I do? What do I do? Bro, that's what we do. Oh my God, it's not showing up. Why is it not showing up? Hold on. So what we do is we develop these documents in very great detail beyond anybody else. As far, like literally, bro, we killing it out here. So what you'll notice is for her.
He uses AI to write this stuff, if you don't know.
Her situation, what she did is she's just submitted where she's at.
Yeah, the woman is Sydney.
In her court case, gave me her situation. We got the answers or orders that are coming.
Why does Netflix have Raw? All I can watch is SmackDown. ADHD, sorry.
Coming back from the judge, and then we start formulating using advanced prompts. ChatGPT is shit now. She's actually...
It's wild how many people that are SovSits had child custody issues. It seems like the #1 catalyst. That and, like, license suspensions is the 1-2 punch. License suspensions and child custody are the big two of SovSit stuff.
At the bottom of the list, just so you know. They did some updates last Wednesday and brought in 03 model. She ain't shit compared to 01. They've intentionally stifled ChatGPT.
They've stifled ChatGPT.
I can prove it, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But
and he can prove it.
What we got going on is a motion for reconsideration with supporting documents, and as you'll see, this is going to be submitted by her with all of her information. And then you'll see just all of the contents and then everything that we're doing in a really high legalese, advanced propria persona sui juris aspect, right? And this is just like one document of several. So you'll see we have cover pages, we have our motion for a reconsideration already ready and prepared, very detailed in great depths. If I had more time, I'd read through some of these so you can understand actually just how deep they are in relation to the doctrines that we're invoking, which is...
She isn't wearing shoes. A lot of these people are like hippy-dippy, crunchy weirdos. I would be shocked if she was the only person barefoot in this room.
Really huge, because I think one of the things that...
To be clear, there's nothing inherently wrong with being barefoot, especially like in your own house. Like, I'm barefoot right now because I'm in my house, you know? But yeah, in a convention hall with a bunch of other people, no. At minimum, you need socks. Minimum socks.
We mainly forgot about is invoking doctrines. Like, and how important those doctrines are, those maxims, those canons. Like, 80% of what the bar card attorneys actually end up learning is seriously just procedure, bro. Like, it's all procedure. And we go in and we always want to argue, oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? Procedure isn't even something you normally get taught in law school. You end up learning when you go for your, like, first job because the procedures and stuff are dependent upon the state. So like the filing and everything, the rules of evidence, the rules of procedure, those are going to be dependent upon the specific state in which you end up practicing. So no? What the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, I know I got this and I got that and I got that. But if you just hit them with a doctrine or two, you're going to discombobulate them all the way. So, like with her situation, what did you get? Where are you currently at right now? What's the situation?
My child custody?
Well, yeah, like what did you get last?
There were two different things. They just told me that I have not been following the court orders and not submitting any of the my income, and I actually submitted it 2 times to the court, and the one time they told me that I incorrectly submitted it because I didn't give it to the secretary of my my son's father's attorney, and so I had to submit it again, and then they continuously said, oh, you still haven't submitted any income verification, and I'm like, I did it 2 times, so I'm not, they just don't read anything. I know that it was 26
Okay, I'm seeing where the issues are coming up, probably.
6 pages, but they asked me,
hey, will you do thing correctly? I already, like, did the thing correctly, like, twice, so they're just, like, not even reading it. Did you do it correctly? I don't know, man.
for a lot of things. I was very brief, and I did everything that they told me to do, but they're still denying And yeah, that's what's going on.
They make so many errors on their they couldn't even spell her name right.
So as you'll notice, yeah, we do like the supplemental declaration of Sydney and support. And I mean, we're really developing these things and very quickly on a more advanced aspect. And that's because like Joey was saying, you got to know how to prompt these things. You got to know how to set it up. Once you know how to set it up, which is what we teach, then you get in here and you start to understand how to apply it, right?
So let me get this straight. You want to teach people how to turn their chat bots into sovereign citizens. Cool.
So it's not just developing the documents in and of itself, but then actually, like here, let me show y'all one more example. So like, this is just a little bit different, but it's for somebody else's situation. But what we do is we like to make sure that any hearing that you're going into, you're fully prepared all the way so that you know a hypothetical script on several different possible scenarios that could happen in the court, so that way you're not just discombobulated like, oh, I'm going into court and I don't know what to do, right? So we develop a lot of mock situations as far as court is concerned, where you have the judge and you have the prosecutor and then yourself, and then answering those on policies and procedures and rules, so that way you don't get you're not getting hicked up by like what the prosecutor may say. And it's not just in like one scenario. It's like, okay, the judge may go this way or the judge may go that way, and we're constantly preparing ourselves very deeply in the.
You're never going to be prepared, though, because you're fundamentally wrong about how all of this works. So your flow chart is screwed from the start, because the first step should be, is any of this pseudo-legal stuff correct? No? Give up on the script.
The most advanced way possible, so that way, again, we're learning.
Wait, September's begun? I thought it doesn't August. Does that not start till the 1st? It's not September yet.
Learning how to become a.
I'm excited for September. I think it's like 30%. I guess I don't know how it's going to work this year. Every year it's a little different. But in previous years, it's been 30% off subs.
Attorneys, in fact, for real, not just getting the documents, but actually learning and understanding the doctrines and how to apply.
It's the second time he said discombobulate. Is that one of his favorite smart-sounding words? He just watched Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes movie for the first time last night.
I mean, who else could speak on this? Joe? Yeah, Joe, come on up real quick. I'm going to let Joe talk on this real quick, because Joe's been in the Operation Wise Zone for quite a while now as well. And like, dude's like hella beneficial to everything we're doing. And yeah, hold on one second. Let him go ahead, Joe.
Okay, yeah. So I have a couple cases that I'm helping my kids with, and one of them is.
Oh, that's negligent.
Is we haven't really followed court procedures in. Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
We haven't really followed court procedures. Oh, that's not good.
I've been helping my kids with some of their court cases. They have traffic tickets, so nothing like custody cases. But anyway, my daughter, for example, I don't know if you have Discord up here, but my daughter has a court case. Hers was a speeding ticket, and we went through the whole process. We have the court transcript. I hired a court reporter to get the transcript. I loaded that into the AI model, and with the prompts that we've developed, that Cam really has developed, that I kind of just copied, with the prompts.
He didn't develop them. He fucking used AI.
That Cam has developed for Chat.
I'm so tired.
GPT. I loaded that up in there. I loaded the whole scenario of the case, the timeline. You want to put in the details of, what happened on such and such date, what happened here, what the court said, load up the transcript into.
Bunker Cat 36, welcome Raiders. Hope your stream was good. We're finishing up a Sovereign Citizen conference right now. We're almost done for the day, but we cover stuff like this all the time. Tinfoil, conspiracy theorists, and the strange things they believe. So maybe give me a follow. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Bunker Cat 36 here on Twitch. How's everyone doing?
Chat GPT, and then form.
These people are using Chat GPT for legal advice, which is a bad move.
A rebuttal, and the rebuttal that this formed, we're now going to actually send notice to the I forget her name. She works for the county clerk, like in the collections unit.
I like
So
pickles.
we're sending notice to the agent of the collections unit and putting them on notice with a rebuttal to the presumption of debt that they're making against my daughter, who is standing on her rights to travel upon public roads and highways.
Oh my god, pay the ticket, dickbag. Basically, this guy's daughter got a ticket for speeding or something. I don't know what it was for. And he's just like, no, I don't think she should have to pay it because I'm an American and Americans can do whatever they want.
And so the rebuttal.
Learning about workers protesting in Indonesia sounds based.
Cam, I don't know if you're in the Discord. If you have that up, you want to pull up Juliet's channel. I just want to, if you want to pull up that.
Case 1, is she in 2 or 1?
No, it's the collective one.
Okay, collective?
Yeah, expand that one.
Okay.
And then.
Okay, boom.
Yeah, I don't mind letting it go. But because they're persistent, I'm going to respond. So you always want to remain in honor.
Which one?
This one. It's the last one.
Okay.
Pull up the. Yeah.
Lily on YouTube says this is the guy that tried to act as counsel for his son. He was arrested and his son held in contempt in their latest court hearing because they tried it again. Did he? I haven't seen their second appearance. I saw the first one where he tried. These goddamn people.
The overleaf document. Yeah, go ahead and hit John. So anyway, so this document is really was developed using Cam's ChatGPT prompts, loading all the details of the court, and then along with the transcript. Because the transcript she has in there where she's standing on her rights. And so this affidavit of non-consent, rebuttal of presumed debt, and notice of fault and opportunity to cure. So
to be clear, your child is being told by the government to pay a ticket, and your response is a piece of paper in which you have, in way too many words, effectively said, no. I don't think that's gonna go good for you, man.
my daughter Juliet is responding to Kimberly Gross, who's a whatever her name is, who's a collection specialist. So makes the preliminary statement, the rebuttal of claims and rights, and now she's going to have to rebut this. And if they continue to harass her,
guess what? They don't have to rebut it. They don't have to rebut your nonsense document you set. You owe them money. Pay the money. Jesus Christ. You lost in court. Deal with it.
we're making a record.
Or fuck it, appeal it. If you have the right to appeal it, feel free to do so. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but at least that would be a legitimate legal process and not this. It's like you're trying to Jedi mind trick the court. We do not owe you money for this ticket. We do not owe you money for this ticket. Yeah, you do!
Of everything that they're doing and that she's doing, so that if it does get escalated, well, we have all of our, just like Joey says, we have everything documented and in a record that now we can have some kind of a remedy to deal with for the harassment that's going on. So.
You use ChatGPT to write nonsense. I guess we should applaud now.
So this is
holy input. Thanks for gifting a sub.
This is for me personally, I feel like to go through the whole procedural process, it kind of ticks me off a little bit because, you know, I just want to be left alone and, you know, I don't hurt people, I don't take their stuff, so why are...
Okay, you're hurting society by not doing your duty and paying this traffic ticket, so you can't really say you don't do anything wrong. Your daughter certainly did when she got this ticket, so be an adult, pay the ticket.
Are you bothering me with these, you know,
I'm doing all right. I'm recovering from surgery, holy input. Hope you're doing well, too.
statutes? And so for probably 3 other tickets that I have that, you know, my son, my wife, and I have, I didn't really go through all of this. I just went up into court, made my statements, and left it at that. So I do have some open tickets, and I hope that they escalate that because now I'm ready to, you know, put the target.
Yeah, hoping for a bench warrant is a rational thing. You're doing good. What a good parent.
Get on their back with these procedures, and So, well, I forget where I was going with this, but oh yeah. So, I didn't care about procedures, but now with this, with the process that I learned from Operation Wise Dome and what Cam has put together, it empowers me to put these notices into their court, so that they have that you're just basically putting them on notice, and you're ready to go to war for your rights, and that's really what it is.
It's a fucking ticket!
So
these people are ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you.
Great job. All right, so I was asked to come up and speak. I have met a few people here throughout the weekend, and I just activity, and it takes a while.
I'm going to skip this guy. He has nothing interesting to say.
My information.
We're almost at the end of this, and I just want to be done. I am sore. I need to get ready for my flu shot.
Substack.com. I have tons of articles on there. It starts with history. I'm very much like...
Sybil Sauce with 100 bits says, lost my job and got dumped over it. Can I interrupt for a job blessing? Going to the lesbian bar too, so you can maybe be a blessing for that. Job interview blessing and lesbian bar blessing. You will get hit on. You are attractive. You are desirable. Everyone wants to buy you a drink. Good luck.
Cameron, I enjoy... what's that?
Spell it.
SHIRENEWS.substack.com. And it'll come up, it'll say Shire Herald. You do not have to pay anything. You can go on, read all of it for free. I do not close out any of my information.
Be safe.
I don't think that's right. Just because this has been hidden from everybody doesn't mean it should be hidden from you. SHIR.substack under the history of for.
They basically yell at everyone to get out immediately because they stayed over their rental period. I'm shocked that these sovereign citizens couldn't follow rules of their lease agreement.
All right, that's one round of applause. Now I'm gonna need a second round of applause.
Huge, right here, huge round of applause.
Yeah. Yo, Quentin, stand up. Kate, stand up. We got Matthew and Sydney back here.
Big applause.
Yo, they've been helping out so much throughout this whole thing. Like, I could not have done this without them. And I just want to say thank you. So I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Go ahead, Brendan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this brings us to the close of our fucking shithole event.
Swearing, ha ha ha! He swears, isn't he so edgy?
So
he's an edgy boy.
The thing is that we've been asked to get everybody out of here by 6 o'clock, so it might seem a little bit of abrupt, but I feel like we got to a lot of the conversations and stuff. I think Joey did send you a link to the Facebook group. Has anybody gotten that, or anybody seen that there's a Facebook group that was made for this event? The link is broken, but you can search for the group in Facebook. All right, we're all fucked. So apparently it's private. I don't know who set it up, but anyways. I put a hilarious meme in there. It's got the guy who's like this, and he's got a police hat on, and it says, when the cop's looking to break out your windows or some shit. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, don't you love when people audibly explain a meme to you? Isn't that always hilarious?
Anyways.
Bottom text.
Hopefully we can get that fixed and get you guys into it, and then, yeah, that's it. So, fucking big round of applause for all you guys for being here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
I really hope they do this again in a year. I need to see how many of them are in jail. Pickleball court! I really gotta cover Pickleball Paul. But that's a story for another day. We're not gonna talk about Pickleball Paul right now. So thank you everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I actually made it to 3 hours today. That's crazy. I guess I am healing. or I'm going to be incredibly sore later and regret it. I guess we'll find out. Okay. So thank you, everyone. I should be around tomorrow, unless the flu shot hits me real hard. Sometimes those make me feel a little shitty for a day. But I should be back tomorrow. If not, I'll certainly see you Sunday. So, and we are going to be doing the patron-only live show this upcoming Sunday, by the way. As I promised, we're going to have a big dumb action or sci-fi movie or something. Last time we watched Jean-Paul Sartre's No Exit, which I find to be a really great philosophical play, but I understand that's not for everyone, so we'll watch a big dumb action movie this time. So, if you want to be a part of that, become a member on YouTube or join the Patreon as a paid member at patreon.com/HannahReloaded. Otherwise, you can always join the Discord. We have a great Discord. Make sure you join if you haven't already. You'll get notified. And that's it. Bye! Oh, wait, no. Okay, I do have a second. Cool. Discord. I thought I had less time than I do. There's the Discord link. Join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't already followed, give a follow. I stream most days. I'm recovering from a surgery right now, so I've been streaming less, but usually I stream most days, and we cover all sorts of fun stuff. So, all right, have a great night. I'm gonna go get some stuff injected into my arm. All right, night, everyone.